This program is rated MA. It contains adult themes, coarse language, sexual references, and violence.
If Dirk's not going to be here, I'd like to actually talk about Eve.
All right, Open Comms.
Can't talk
Welcome,
about
guys.
Eve.
It's Friday.
Hi guys, we're getting started a little early tonight.
Are we getting started early?
Are we? I don't
No,
think
we're
it's
3
actually
minutes
early.
late.
No, I mean we're all
Well, it's
talking
not 3
over
minutes
each
late
other
because
because we were
I started the
carrying on
intro
a
on
conversation.
time. So you got to account for intro time.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. We got Brisk, we got Rain, we got LB, we got Blazing Bunny, and Dominark is joining us as well. How's it going, man?
Redline, you know I'm cuter than Blazing. Don't even start with me.
All right, so
Blazing's the cutest guy on the show.
I legitimately can't find Open Comms on Twitch right now.
It's
Okay.
Imperium
Imperium
News.
News.
Imperium News.
Right, like, okay, there it is. Finally, it popped up. We're still streaming Fear Online, by the way.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
No,
why
we're
I'm
not.
changing
Rick!
it.
No,
I
we're
told
not. We are live.
No,
It's-
you
no,
didn't
it's
change the
streaming.
title. It
You didn't
doesn't
change the
say
game.
Fear
Yeah,
Online.
the game still says Fear Online. That's why I
for
couldn't find it.
fuck's
I was
sake.
like looking in Eve Online. I'm like, God, I know it's usually here somewhere.
Exclamation point game.
All
There
right,
you
I got it fixed. No, you can't just say Eve, Brisk.
Britt, I typed it for you earlier in
There
the
you go.
channel.
Remember this day, because every time you give me shit about production quality, I'm going to remind you of this day right here at this moment. Anyway. Yeah, we actually got a lot of Eve stuff this week. We've got the cornucopia of offerings from CCP.
Weird shit. It's all weird. None of it's normal.
It's
all weird.
Some of it, I mean, do we want to start off with the battleship thing?
Dude!
We can start off with the fact that Tess just killed a battleship of mine.
Oh,
Did
did
you
I
spawn-
had-
did you spawn
I
a
heard you
frigate
guys
out of
just dropped Titans to spoil the fight.
Yeah, I
Well,
heard that
this
too.
was the funny thing. So we're cock blocking Tess from getting into a system. We got a gate camp up, and we're in Abaddon's and Balgorns and shit. And I'm getting primary because hey, I always get primary. What else is new? And they
You
kept me
absolutely
up for
always
so
get primary.
long until the very end. And it was funny because at the same time that they were killing me, they were about to undock. Tess was about to undock a bomber fleet, and we saw that. So Shines called for Titans to jump in. So I died, and then our Titans dropped as soon as I died. And I was like, that's what you get for fucking killing me. It was pretty funny. Yes, it was very sad. My Balgor did took like 280,000 K damage.
So,
I was
shout
very proud
out
of
to
Logi
Tiana,
for doing that.
the Logi FC
So, yes.
of Emmett.
Dark Shines was actually in a Guardian, so I have to give him
Shout
a
out to Dark
hug for that.
Shines for being
So,
a real man.
tell
Plus.
us-
Him
tell us
and
the
Finchy with a mouthful of fucking pizza.
Before we get into the battleships, tell us the scoop, Brisk. So when is Sort getting in there? I know that he's joining in it.
Oh, for fuck's sake. You crazy people. You know, I would have no problems if Sort wanted to join because I like having all of my friends in the same group. That's why Dirk is in STK, and why anybody that wants to come and hang out with us is fine. That's why we keep sucking up awesome players like Tiana, who's now in, and all the guys from Kenshin who wanted to leave Deadco. But no, Sword is not leaving Darkness. That
now
was a joke.
Nope, but everybody else is.
Ranger Regiment is joining the Imperium. I did see a tweet
Joined.
about that. Was that bullshit or is that actually happening?
No,
we
that is
talked about
absolutely
that
true.
last
And
week when we
tomorrow,
announced it.
I must have
and
not
tomorrow
been paying
on the
attention.
Meta Show, we will be interviewing Mr. Wangs from Ranger Regiment, who's going to be joining us to talk about them moving over.
69 viewers. Nice.
That whole,
Nice.
that whole thing is
their
wild.
Effective CEO.
As soon as we
so-
effectively pushed out, like, okay, so we finished Tribute off, cool, or not Tribute, Tino off, cool. So then we kind of had a decision. It's like, okay, now where do we go from here? So we start pushing a little bit harder in the branch, and then it seemed like we went from reinforcing things to it all going away instantly. So like Calradrius flipped, Ranger Regiment defected around the same time they moved to Y19, I think, is whenever we saw Ranger Regiment caps and supers just keep going. They didn't stop. And they just kept running towards the Imperial borders, so a lot of us speculated that's where they were going, kind of as a meme, and then the leak came out that they were completely deserting.
And it
Then
happened.
Dracarys went with them, so
And,
kinda wild.
Iron Crown.
yeah. Well, Iron Crown, I don't really count them as an alliance, if we're being honest with each other, because they moved, whenever they joined Deadco or GOTG or whatever you want to call them, they immediately went to the Declan, power crabbed, and did nothing else. Oh, they got
About
farmed by
right.
cones, so that's something.
I don't disagree with you,
Fucking
Blazing.
Pythons.
I don't consider Iron Crown really much of an alliance either.
So
Oh,
it's very interesting. Last time I looked at coordination, there was 70 iHubs or 70 timers today during AU in China, and we won 65 of 70. So I don't know how much longer this is gonna last. So we're gonna run out of shit to talk about soon.
give me another war now. It's gonna be boring if you guys stop blowing up sword stuff.
Well, you know,
but
hopefully,
he's just gonna end up being in Declan and hiding out there.
you know,
1DQ by Christmas.
What
Yeah,
are you
right.
guys gonna do in Tenal? Because I used to live there a long time ago. I miss Tenal. Tenal was nice.
I'll be
Everybody
right-
left you alone up there.
I'll be right back.
I mean,
I think Bunny can answer that. I would say.
Well, now he can't because he has to go take a piss or
I
something.
go to
No,
fleets.
he's
I
probably
haven't.
getting
I haven't
pizza.
done any crabbing. I want to start
Oh,
getting
he's
back
got a
into
pizza.
ratting. I used
Oh,
to
I
just
could
fuck
do.
me. He got a pizza. He's going to eat pizza on the camera.
hell
Yeah,
yeah.
probably.
Well, he'll probably eat it off the camera, but
God
you'll see.
damn it.
Where's his dog? What the fuck?
Dog's probably
Someone's
waiting for the
gone.
pizza.
But I don't know. Mainly when I did income, the way I made income was just doing jump freighter transporting, bringing in doctrine stuff. But I don't have enough alt accounts, and Tenal's, it's not a one midpoint away from G to like.
From anywhere? Yes.
Well,
that's
when
right.
we had our home in, what was it, S1? Up in
SH1, yeah.
Tribute? Yeah, SH1 in Tribute. That was nice, because one midpoint, you could jump right to Jan. Or maybe, I think it was Jan. And you can just go right in.
the
so
benefit to
now
Tenal
it's like, okay, I need
is
3 accounts at least of
the benefit to
even
Tenal
industrial
is it's in the middle of fucking nowhere. That's why it was nice because people would leave you
It
alone.
is out there.
And we had a nice little pipe system in the very back that if anybody was in there, you knew they were coming to hunt. So we were able to do whatever we wanted. I only got killed like, half a dozen times there because I'm stupid. But that's
That
how I
sounds
learned. That's where I learned how to
boring,
play
Well-
in nullsec.
I mean, they've mentioned on the Meta Show and all sorts of other talk shows. I think it's even been brought up here too. The biggest issue with a lot of these northern territories is you're on the border with Venal, which is the jump ranges from Venal are pretty good. You have a gate into
NPC
3
space.
regions. Yeah. So like right now we have Tissue and Trigger Happy hunting the new Tino residents, MSN and VVV pretty hard. I think they tackled and killed a Titan. Oh, what was that?
That was yesterday.
Wednesday?
Hold on.
Or yesterday? I think it was Wednesday.
It was
Oh,
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
'cause
I have the
didn't
story
log in-
about
I didn't
that,
log in
too.
last night, but
So-
I was there for that. I
I have
didn't
a
have my
story if
cap,
you-
so I
if
just
we
kind
wanna
of sat
talk
there and
about it.
listened. But
The dude got fleet warped to a gate, tackled on the gate. I'm guessing he wasn't hick pointed because he burned to the gate and jumped it. On the other side, he then sinoed back to the beacon and the initial system and got caught again. So the dude
He's a
got
moron.
caught and chased
He freaked out.
around. And
Well-
kind of probably deserved to die in that situation.
He freaked out.
So-
There's no other reason why you would jump back to the beacon in the system you were bubbled in.
So it's kind of
Okay.
like that's kind of the issue with a group that's MSN and VVV have a very low number of supers and titans. I'd honestly say that'd probably be one of the 4 or 5 avatars they actually have. The issue is, I mean, if you don't have any experience flying titans and you don't have any idea that maybe going back to the jump beacon isn't a good idea, shit like this happens. So, yeah, we tried to mid and get over in range, but he died so fast because he
Oh,
had
okay.
snakes.
I was gonna ask because
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, it's an avatar. It can't die that fast because it died to what? There was like 8 supers that it died to, 8 or 10 or something.
No,
Eight-
it was
eight supers and a couple bombers fleets.
It was
Bombers,
3. It was
Wow.
5. It was a bunch of supers, and then we had a whole fleet of Kikis, and then I know another group came in. I think they were in bombers, we just had people just piled in. And
Right.
by the time he was done, I mean, it was just they weren't going to stop that.
It took us
That was
a
a
long.
good kill.
Okay.
Yeah, it
seemed
took
like
us a long time to
our
get
initial
there,
response
unfortunately.
was pretty quick, but I wasn't sure. If
Well,
there
the funny
was any
thing
points,
is,
'cause I wasn't in
it
the
was
cat
not
fleet, so I
that
didn't get to
far
see
from
the
us.
Other side of it, I just got to hear the once in a long while pipe ups from.
We
the
went
global
we
fund.
went we had a
check,
wormhole
check.
connection that
That
got
way.
us
Okay.
within 3 jumps of it, and then they were like 10 jumps away from Goon's northern staging and PF, so they were able to get over there real fast. I mean, that was just it was bad timing for this dude and a bad location, and we happened to have a wormhole connection that got us there real fast. So good job on Tissue for catching these guys. I give him credit for it.
What did we do a shot to? We haven't done a shot yet.
All right, I have a shot. This is a friend of mine passed away. I used to work with him,
sad.
Frank
Sad
Pecue. He had a funeral today. He was an older gentleman. He was 75, but he was one of the first guys that I got to work with when I started lobbying in DC. So, Godspeed, Frank. Hope you're doing well wherever you are.
Shots.
Rest in peace.
I was ill prepared. I didn't grab booze.
Okay.
We got a lot of shit that's going on. In the
Yeah.
game
So
this week,
we
huh?
let's go right into the battleship thing.
You want to
Wait,
do
should-
that
should we-
first?
Should we
Let's do
touch
this-
on some of the easy stuff?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
do the SP first. Let's do
Okay.
the SP.
Yeah.
I also
no,
want to hear.
no. Can we promote like community things?
Oh,
Why
sure.
would we do
The
that?
Stream Fleet thing. Is that next weekend?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Oh God,
It's March 21st, my friend.
So
Rain
for
has
those-
to plug.
Yeah, I have to plug. I have to circle jerk. Let me circle jerk. So Twitch versus Eve is happening, and what that is all the Eve streamers. I should tentatively say all. It's not physically all, but all the Eve streamers kind of get together. They run multiple fleets with everyone streaming them, so absolutely zero intel. Everyone knows what's going on, and people are free to come out and shoot at the streamers. So there'll be some of us in here flying in it, amongst many others, big streamers, small streamers, streamers of all types and walks of life. So that will be on March 21st at 2000, and there are 5 different fleets with different FCs. I'm gonna name them. I wanted to name them all, but I also am forgetting
Oh, we're
half
not
of
just
them.
gonna
So
go
I'm
in
not.
one big blob.
No. So we'll do multiple fleets. So like those who can make it at 2000, great, you do the first fleet. But then if you are late or you have other things to do,
Oh,
or as a
separate times, got
viewer,
it.
yeah, so it's separate times. And
I
each
thought you
fleet...
meant like 5 different fleets at the same time. I got you.
No,
I
no,
have the,
not at the
I have
same
the
time,
list of
all at
FCs
different
here
times.
if you want.
Oh, do you? Yeah,
Yeah.
go for it.
So Bjorn B is taking out the first one. Everybody knows Bjorn B, right? Icelandic streamer. Pando from Init. He's going
Who
to
the
take out
fuck
an
is that?
LSEC.
Never heard of that.
Pandalorian? Pando? Zapando?
Pandoralica.
German guy.
Never heard of him.
You know him.
Who
No?
is this guy?
I don't know. Some German guy.
They should ban that
Virion
guy.
is a Spectre Fleet FC. He'll be taking out a fleet. And Grey Gal is taking out a
Oh,
fleet.
nice. I've
Is
never known-
Miranda's bringing a fleet out?
And there's one more. No,
I gotta
Grey
do
Gal.
that if she's gonna die. I'm gonna get that on.
So
that
Grey
one.
Gal's a lot of credit, and then we also have Baleful Dysnomia. So she
Yeah.
does
When
the
is this again?
Amar faction warfare stuff.
It's a streamer fleet. Like Stream Fleet's doing
It's
a
called-
This weekend?
No, the
March
21st.
21st, so next month.
Oh, next month. Okay.
I think it's the week before FanFest.
I'm glad Rain
No?
gave us a month's preparation.
I'm gonna
That's
circle
great.
jerk about it, but if you
Thank
guys
you.
want to
well,
check it
we
out,
have to
there are
talk
also...
about E Vegas for 8 months before it shows
But
up.
that's
Let's
because it's
fucking
E
only
Vegas.
talk about
there are
Stream
also
Fleet fucking
you can
once
win
in a,
prizes.
like the
So
day
for those,
before.
yeah. So for those of you who are like, who gives a fuck? I don't care about streamers. You can go and shoot people, and you might win a prize. I think Top Damage or Final Blow get prizes, and by prizes I mean it's usually like Plexer skins, and they're good skins. I know because
That'd
I
be
always
fun.
demand good skins.
I might just go take a fleet and shoot you guys anyway. I don't
Hell
really
yeah,
need a.
You
Yeah.
definitely should. Bring it on. It's super fun.
I'm gonna try and make it on this one. Last year I was like, hey, I'll go, and then I woke up 3 hours after the fleet was over to about 20 DMs from Miss Moses saying, "Where the fuck are you at?" So
Oh my gosh.
I told her, I was like, this year I'll wake up on time. I promise. I'll make it.
Okay, so that was my community shout out. Also, we can do also a community shout out. So if you are going to an Eve meet at all, you should definitely sign up for them. We have FanFest going on, Eve Nola, Eve
Eve
North,
Nola's.
Mm.
Eve
Yeah, Eve
Nola's
Nola-
gonna be awesome.
I'm
Eve
excited for
North,
that
and
one.
then Eve Vegas. So those are all the ones we've been like announcing and circle jerking about. You should definitely go to them or start up your own. So me and Dom are going to be doing one in Iowa, 14th of March. If you live nearby or want to come hang out.
I'll have the information posted on the Eve Meet website here probably this weekend.
There's
Eve
so
Meet
many
dot net,
Iowa
check
Eve
it out.
players. It's mind-boggling how many people live there.
There's nothing else to do, Drayden. Like, what do you expect?
And we're the
You
coolest
think
people
there's
on the
more
face
to
of the
do
earth.
here?
Not in fucking Spokane.
Bunny, point your
Oh.
camera down more.
I did already.
But more.
Oh, the puppy.
She wants
I'm
to see
trying-
the dog.
Look.
Oh,
Look at-
get the fuck out of here.
He's back there like, hey.
Once I stop eating, the dog will get up on the bed behind me like she always does, and everybody can stop paying attention to me.
Just throw the pizza crust on the bed. I'll get her.
I'd rather not pay attention to you while you're eating anyway.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Before we talk about battleships, LB, you want to talk about this this wormhole thing that everybody's pissed off
Yeah.
about?
Oh.
It's
So
like we have
here
a
we
wormhole
go.
on the show now.
did we talk about the wormhole with Love Patch? The increased connectivity between
lot.
C5s
No,
and
'cause-
No,
C7s?
no,
because
I
nobody
think
really
you weren't
cares.
there last week, and
Right.
we
We're
were
talking about shot
hoping to
glasses.
have you talk
I
about
know.
it, so we skipped it.
So they brought that patch out, increased connectivity between high-class wormholes, all wormholes, but mostly high-class wormholes, and it got a lot of positive reception. Everybody was really happy with it. But now there has been a little bit of a stealth patch or a bug fix,
Ooh.
you should call it, a bug fix,
That's my
Hot
new
fix.
least favorite Eve term right there.
where
is
they
stealth patch.
Yeah. So it's a bug fix where you used to be able to take a capital, take it to a hole, tell the hole, hey, I'm going to jump this capital through, and the hole will be like, okay, it fits. And then you hit your prop mod. So you go through it with extra mass, which makes the hole critical. Then you turn around and come fucking back, and the hole collapses. Well, so one shot, one pass through and back, hole collapsed. Neat. But you can't do that anymore. It measures your mass before you go through it with your prop mod on or off. So you can't go through with your prop mod on now. It won't let you. It'll be like, this hole's too small. You can't fit. So now you have to roll it with a capital and a battleship and some other fucking bullshit. There's a bunch of math involved. Wormholders are super salty. I don't care. Whatever.
They'll figure
But
it out.
people are, well, no, that's it. They'll figure it out, right? Everybody figures it out. They've already figured it out, most of them.
LB.
But people are still salty and all
I am salty about it, and I
If-
will
if
explain why
you're-
I'm salty about it.
If you're a
Those frigate
wormholer and you're
holes.
not salty, are you even really a wormholer?
No. I'm a low class wormholer, so I don't give a shit about capital holes.
okay.
I don't have capitals. What the fuck am I gonna do with that?
I heard
But
it's
yeah, but
like
you can't
impossible
close
to
your
roll
frigate holes anymore either,
Yeah,
Dom.
I heard it's
Frigate,
like
frigate holes are a
impossible.
problem, and people who live in C1 holes, they have a problem because they can't
They're
roll their
fucked.
holes. But if you're trying to roll a hole solo, you're doing something wrong. Where are your friends? Where's the rest of your people? Where are your alts? If you live in a wormhole without an alt, like I do, that's the worst ever. Don't do that.
You just imagine if you.
So
that
you guys
guy
are going to get a
just, like, lose
preview
your
of
hole.
my rant. You're going to get my preview of my rant on the Meta Show tomorrow. You know, the last time that I checked, one of the things that we're all
Grinds my
supposed to
gears.
enjoy, I'm going to sound like, I don't know, I want to know. I'm going to sound like Andy Rooney. And none of you fucking people know who he is because you're too
Oh, I'm
young.
definitely old.
No,
enough
I
for
know.
All right, you guys. know
Anyway.
this. What I want to know is when did this game stop being about emergent gameplay and suddenly become a game that CCP has to make all the rules work all the time? This is the thing that drives me crazy. The whole point of EVE, everybody has been saying forever that the best thing about this game is it's a sandbox. And the developers throw stuff in the game and they let the players do with it as they will and come up with creative ways to do special things. Wormholes are a perfect example of that. When they put them in the game, they never expected anybody was going to actually live in there. And when Citadels became a thing, that was even a more obvious thing that they didn't realize that oh wow, they're going to put a keep star in a wormhole. That's going to be the first place to get a keep star. Wow, that's crazy. But they went with it. So how long does it take before something that is a bug or something that was not intended becomes a feature? Because I'd like to think that, maybe the fact that wormholes working this way and rolling them has worked this way for 4 fucking years now, that maybe that means that if you're going to change it, you should maybe talk to people before you fix it and say, hey, would it be a problem if we fix this? Is this even a problem? Maybe. Because I'll tell you right now, it's like all of a sudden in like the last 2 years or so, we have had all of these fucking stealth patches, stealth nerfs,
Ugh.
stealth changes, taking shit out of the game that players had come to rely on that became like a standard thing. Like the fucking gate sliding in low sec that they took out and they didn't even realize that they did it. I mean, stuff like this, even the 50 500 MN hick thing, that I got a lot of shit on for last year. That was another one of those things where at least in that situation, they went in knowing, all right, we're going to change this and it's going to fuck these guys. We'll come up with a solution for them. But why are they doing this shit now? And why are they not telling anybody or even talking about it? and then just saying, well, this was intentional. Well, you know what? People came to rely on the way that it was broken. So if you're going to fix it, maybe you should fucking say something to somebody. That's it's just bad development to me.
So on other things, I agree with you. The gate sliding thing sucks. That was one of the things that all of the, low sec CSM candidates last cycle, whenever we were all running, hit on. It's like the gate sliding thing needs to come back. It was a core part of not getting murdered on those gates. But that wasn't really my point. I thought one of the devs or somebody from CCP posted on the Reddit thread of the original person upset about the wormhole thing, saying it was a bug and it wasn't unintended and they were trying to fix it. Or was that something else?
That was something different. I think that was that Logi couldn't scoop drones to their drone bay anymore, which is another one of these things.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you fuck that up? I mean, this was my rant from last week's meta.
Pause.
How
Load.
do they fuck up so many things that have been fundamental, like warping to a squad member in fucking fleets?
Code.
I mean, they screwed up all this stuff, but it's like, this is what happens when they're trying to be super stealthy and get stuff in the game so it doesn't hit hobo leaks or doesn't hit CC ahead of time so people can't plan for it. But you know what? If you're going to do that, your quality assurance, your QA guys better be fucking good, and they've been missing a lot of shit. So I'm tired of this stuff. They think they are so much smarter than us, and they're going to we're not going to figure out what they did, and we know it in like the first 15 minutes after the patch hits what happened. So stop doing that. Don't do that. It's not good. It annoys me.
I'm more for them putting in patch notes saying what they're fixing and why they're fixing it, whether it be like an old bug that's been around. But like the whole hey, it's a bug that turned into normal gameplay, therefore it should not be fixed, I think is a dumb excuse, a dumb logic.
It's not a dumb excuse, because here's the thing. Once there's something
Ghost
broke,
training was a bug and an exploit, but should that have stayed around? And everyone would say
no, because that.
Well, there you go.
Had,
so then who determines
that's
that?
because the line is pretty easy to come up with, Rain.
Well, if it's a
CCP
bug
gets to
and if
decide
it's
that.
not
If it's
broken,
it has to be.
It's a bug. It has to be fixed.
It has to be more than that. It has to be something that gives players
Oh, you cut out, Briz.
to do it and stuff like that. And that's not what this is. Everybody knew this stuff. I mean, I would say something needs to get fixed. Dupe bugs or exploits that let you, be cloaked when you're shooting somebody, or something that's like game breaking. But if there's just something that doesn't work and the players have found a way around it, or they've taken the fact that it doesn't work and found a creative way to use that to their advantage, it becomes a feature at that point. And you got to go through the right processes to fix it. You can't just fix the glitch and stop paying the guy and move him to the basement, because he's going to burn the whole place down.
No.
So there you go. I mean, look, I remember the Star Wars Galaxies, the same exact thing happened. Drove us crazy. When the game came out, all of your armor that you would wear, your arms didn't count towards your armor value, and your pants didn't count towards your armor value. The only things that counted were your helmet, your chest piece, your boots, and your gloves, and that was it.
Why would the boots and the gloves count?
I don't know. It's how it ended up working.
It
was fucking weird. So all the players figured this out, and that meant we had all kinds of crazy things we could do. You could put on random things on your arms. There was one thing that the Night Sisters had that gave you bonuses on arms that you could wear. That was a great thing. Everybody wanted that. I used to run around in fucking hot pants because it was funny. And that was part of the game for like a year, and then they just stealth patched it and fixed it, and that killed that whole gameplay. And
in real
we were all
life, you
pissed
ran on
about
hot
it.
pants or just in game?
Oh, it was great. They used to call me Hot Pants. That was one of my nicknames in Star Wars Galaxy.
Like
I could have
Pants
lived my
brand.
entire life without that
Where's Hot
information.
Pants for Ball? I gotta have screenshots or something somewhere from it. But the whole thing is, I mean, like, that's the thing, especially in a game like Eve with a sandbox, where the devs they use it as a selling point. We're going to give you these tools. Go do something with them. Even if the tools are broken, you can still use them for stuff. And
There's
if
something
people
this
are using them
community is the
for a
best at.
benefit, there you go.
Like
So
the
I don't like it.
right after they changed how loyalty points are accumulated by killing ships, how long did it take before somebody started figuring out how to min-max that? A day?
No, you're right. The players in this game have been notoriously resilient when it comes to changes. We may bitch about it a lot, but eventually they figure a way around it, or figure a way to work it into their their plans.
Is that German vodka?
No, it's Scotch.
Scotch. What kind of?
You
It
held him
says
to
Scotch on the bottle.
It's just an Aachen. I thought that was
So
like
it was
German.
backwards because he's out of camera. so
Like,
it's not
I'm
really.
thinking like
booze.
Octoon. That's attention.
I am drinking Old Forester, but I got the
me
Prohibition.
read it out loud.
Styles. It's 115 proof.
Auchentoshan?
Akatoshin. That sounds
Hold on,
German.
is it-
That sounds
you
like a
pronounce
German
it
name to me more than
It's
Scottish.
not though. It's Scottish. Auchentoshan. Yeah. Single malt Scotch whiskey, 12 years.
Oh
There
yeah.
you go. Sounds good to me.
LOL, everyone is drinking. LOL. Welcome to Open Comps, where we get drunk and yell at each other.
Correct.
Do we have to yell?
We
Not
haven't
me.
yelled at each other yet.
You have to yell
No,
at each other.
because Dirk's.
I
not
was
here,
trying
we're
to yell at
gonna
Rain,
progress
but she didn't
slowly
come back
into the
over the
yelling.
top at me.
You
Crazy.
didn't yell at me. I yell at you.
Well, I didn't get a chance to yell back. I need to find a picture of my old tune in the hot pants. Give me a second. And yes, I said tune. Deal with it.
So, anyways, the wormhole thing.
Yep.
So they fixed this bug. It's harder to roll holes. You need more people. You need more ships. But it is an advantage for people who are defending against being evicted. So now, when a frigate hole shows up, it's so hard to roll. You can bring your tunes back in. Excuse me, your characters back in with interceptors or frigates or whatever, and you can make it back into your hole in order to be able to defend it. You used to get potted out, and if you don't have hole control, well, say goodbye to your. You'll just see your kills on Z Killboard. You see your Astro House get destroyed. Oh, look at that!
But how is anybody going to get hole control with on these frigate holes now?
Well, the
I
frigate
don't
holes
think
you can't-
do
With
it.
effort,
can't
you're
roll
gonna
them,
have to
right?
use effort,
I thought
Oh
you couldn't roll
no,
those.
not the frigates.
spit, and grit and determination.
Is that your kiddo? Adorable.
Beat it, kid.
It was one of the wormholes is one of the areas I've actually never ever lived in.
Same here,
I'm
Blades.
oblivious.
I've done everything
I traveled
else.
through them, and that's it.
I
Same
did
here.
for a little bit, but no.
I tried for about a day and a half, and I found out I got literally either jumped out of the hole and it disappeared on me. I couldn't get back to it. It was just so terrible at it. I was like, "Fuck this, I'm done."
Yeah, it took me a couple tries to get it. It's after living in Nullsec for a while, you get that instant gratification, right? Your wallet ticks keep going up, right? And then you move into a wormhole, and that doesn't work that way, right? You have to amass a big mound of loot and then take it to Jita and sell it. So it's hard to get used to. Once you get used to it, it's pretty good.
It is actually a completely different style of play. I mean,
Okay, what's next?
Battleships?
Oh, you want to do that, or you want to do
Yeah.
Yeet Fleet?
Yeet Fleet.
Oh god.
Yeet!
The
I blame
Yeet
Elise
filaments.
Randolph for that.
So
I was scrolling past it through Twitter and I happened to see him put Yeet in like 4 or 5
I get
different
another beer,
places
be
on
back.
that. And I'm like, God, I hope that never makes it anywhere else. And lo and behold,
Yeah,
the
she
dev
made
blog.
it into the actual patch
Of
itself.
all the dev blogs to do, all the patch notes to do, that's the one they chose.
That's,
Yeah.
I mean, it became like the common name for it. So it's kind of when they were talking about Bouchers. That's not the name CCP originally gave them, but that just became what they ended up being called because everyone called them Bouchers. And so when they came like, oh, we're changing the Bouching, they actually used that in the update, I believe. So everyone called them Yeet Fleet or Yeet filaments. So it stuck. They're back though. So basically, the reindeer filaments.
back.
They're just back under
Yep.
a different name.
Needlejack
And they're
filaments?
Yeah, and now they're
Needlejack.
permanent.
And you can find them in data sites, right? You can pick them up in data sites.
I didn't
And there's
actually read
some-
that blog. And
I think there's
I
some
would
ETCs
assume-
for them and stuff.
Do they
Yeah, I
drop
would
in
assume.
data and relic sites, or is it just data?
I think
Just
it's
data
data
sites.
And then
sites.
they're
It's
also
where the normal.
so they're fully built, and then they're gonna be drops as like event loot, but it sounded like from BPC, so you had to put them together. So there's definitely a draw to do them in data sites.
I kind of
as
wish
much as-
if you had, because when you had the old reindeer filaments, and if you didn't use them, they converted to
Filaments.
like level 3
Yeah,
palm filaments.
columns.
No, like top level 1.
Yeah, they're
They're
like bottom
basically
tier
worthless.
filaments.
Well, I
Yeah.
have a whole hanger full of those apparently because I never used a single one, but I claimed all of them. I wish those would turn back into these into these things, but
Yeah, nope.
So to be devil's advocate, as much as fun as this was, and during the Christmas holiday, I somebody brought up something in another Discord that I sit in that it's good, right? Because you can find content with smaller groups of people. It's bad though because now you're incentivizing people to sit in their space because I mean you're just gonna get yeeted into some nullsec region that people live in. So now people who, instead of going out to find content and deploying or doing whatever, I mean, what do they got to do that for? You're gonna get yeeted into their space at some point, right? I can see both sides. I think it's cool. I think it's a new way to get content. However, I don't think it's gonna be great in the long haul. I think you're gonna be hard pressed seeing anybody deploy anymore.
Well, the big blocks are still going to have to deploy because when you yeet a fleet from 1DQ, you end up back in 1DQ.
That's the problem.
Just the
If
just
they
the
do
nature
it based
of
on
the yeet a
like,
fleet.
if
Well,
they
the
do
thing
it
is, it only
based
brings up
on
to 25 is the max, so you can't
Yeah.
run
Yeah,
entire.
but it
fleets
goes
that way.
the ones that take you to an active system take you to an active system. So if you live in a big
Right.
blue mass and someone's ratting 3 systems away, that's an active system, and you end up 3 systems away dropping on a bunch of blues. So if you're a big block, you're still going to have to deploy for content. You're still going to have to roam for content. It's the
I know
small
we
blocks.
took
that are
a
gonna get
the
to-
goons
In
and
all the
I
ones we
went
got at
out and
Christmas?
took a 25-person fleet, and we hit 3 filaments, and 2 of them sent us to 1DQ.
See, and I had the exact opposite. I used every filament we got, every free one. We did fleets for every single one of them. I got Fountain once, and I got Delve once. That was it. And I based that out of
Well,
Fountain.
I mean, those are random. So are the new ones going to be random like the old ones, or are they specifically like you're saying? Like
It's going to be, I think it's going to be pretty much the same. There's going to be 6 different filaments, 5, 15, and 25 is the fleet sizes. So I would assume that there's going to be 3 that take you to random nullsec's and 3 that take you to active nullsec's. That's what I assume. We know what happens when you assume.
I thought they said that 3 were going to be coming out of sites, and then 3 will be blueprints.
I don't know.
I think they're all going to take you to the randomly active site. I thought, but maybe I read it wrong.
I don't know.
Let me read it.
If I can get content by sitting at home and waiting for somebody to get yeeted into my region, that's what.
Yeah, why
I
not?
mean, that's what most people are. That's how. I mean, all the bigger empire built people start kind of playing off of, or they won't. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell now because we haven't seen how they've worked in a long period of time. But
It doesn't say active or anything. It just says a random nullsec system.
if they do it like that, then maybe you have a higher chance of not ending up in your home space.
And maybe you
have a higher
end up
chance to
somewhere
end
that's
in the middle
empty.
of nowhere with nobody around you, though, too.
Also true.
I mean, well, you'll probably just end up in
Which is-
Owasso anyways.
Well, it's still content. Even if you end up in a system there's nobody around, you have to travel through those areas. You know, it gives you a little bit more the pucker factor for possible danger. I don't know if there's actually any pucker factor left, but you know, randomly will be okay with me as long as
It's going to be fun. It's going to be something to do.
I agree.
I'm sure it will lose its shine just like everything else, but it'll be fun.
I'm excited for it.
Everybody's excited for it. There's a very few people who are negative about the Utafleets.
No negativity.
Just Bunny.
Positive.
I'm not.
vibes
I
only.
wasn't trying to be negative. I just
Way to go,
to-
Debbie Downer.
Yes, you
Bunny,
were,
come
Dick.
on.
to be devil's advocate. I'm just
I
talking about what I've seen. I personally don't care. I didn't use any of my reindeer filaments when I had them because I was on vacation. But hey,
Would you
whatever.
have, honestly?
I don't know. We were deployed then, so probably not.
Oh yeah, if you're deployed, it makes a difference. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my struggle.
I enjoyed the hell out of them. I thought they were a lot of fun. It added an element to the game that we were missing. I liked one of those few people that liked the blackout, but I'm a masochist. So this
I like
game,
the blackout. I mean, I'm fine if it's gone, but I enjoyed myself during it.
We
Yeah.
kind
I
of got a
liked it too,
taste
it
of it
just sucked
back
that it didn't
during
work.
the DDoS, though, didn't we? Because nothing worked.
Yeah,
None
that's
of
true.
the
Yeah,
chat
the chat
tables
was,
worked.
yeah. Well, the thing,
Speaking
it worked
of
for half the
DDoS.
people and half the people it didn't. That was the thing. So it was
but
like a 50-50
actually-
random
worked.
selection
Sometimes
blackout.
it worked and gave you false information, which I thought was that was hilarious.
Yeah. The funny thing was during the blackout, I think the worst, like the Monday it came in was the worst. I didn't actually log in that day, but the Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays and stuff that I logged in, I never had issues logging in, but it was half the time I didn't have any chats and half the time I did. And the weird thing is the people that didn't have any chats wouldn't show, even if you did have chat, they wouldn't show up in the fleet window.
You
So
had to
you
do.
still couldn't use, like, even if you had chat, you couldn't effectively use that as like a logi thing because half of your people weren't.
Yeah,
in
I
the
remember
actual
when
fleet.
Bunny was the FC, but Bunny couldn't get in fleet chat, so they had to put him. I don't think Bunny was the boss, so they put him as like wing command or whatever. They're like, guys, add Bunny to watch list, use him from wing command.
Yeah.
And then Logi had its own separate squad, and they kept moving.
I'm glad
Gabe to
that-
squ- the
Yeah.
squad commander, but we had to use the squad list to say, okay, here's your watch list, add people. And we were like coordinating on a Discord of like, here's the watch list people. And then it was impossible to add people to watch list, so you had to search their name or look at them in the guest list if they were docked. It was like the most outrageous shit we had to pull just to get like a normal fleet running.
But it worked. I mean, we adapted it
worked.
up
Definitely
relatively
worked.
quickly, thankfully. But it's pretty wild. I'm curious what compensation is gonna look like. I remember reading something on
They
Twitter
did
about it.
Compass. Yeah.
For-
So if we want to jump to that,
Yeah.
I believe if you log in between February 24th through March 9th, alphas get 100,000 SP, omegas get alpha SP plus 250,000, so 350,000 SP total. So definitely
That's almost a
you'll-
whole injector.
Yeah, so just log in once, you get all the SP. A lot of people were discussing of like, should they compensate? There's a lot of discussion on how it may incentivize people to do denial of service attacks more and whatnot. But it is nice CCPs at least.
Incentivize
I'm on that side.
'Cause
No,
I
I don't think
I
they should
doubt-
compensate. This is
Yeah.
not CCP's fault. Now, their reaction to it, maybe compensate based on that, but not based on the fact that there was a DDoS. That's not their fault. Don't compensate for that reason. Compensate because you
Here is
handled
the
it
problem.
terrible.
This is the problem, and this is something we're never going to get the answer to because they're never going to admit it. But how much of the problems that were caused was the DDoS, and how much of it was the mitigation that they were using that was basically a meat axe and not, a scalpel. And if it's really the problem is that it was their DDoS mitigation that was keeping people from logging in for so long, which is what I speculate is probably the case, then they should reimburse for that because that's on them. But I mean, look, I'll tell you, I feel bad for the GMs. They must have had a billion fucking lost mails that they had to reimburse over the last 2 weeks. I know it took them 2.5 weeks to get my Titan pod back to me.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're still looking at.
I
mails
feel
from-
bad that they
Yeah.
had to do that. So not only are the GMs handing back stuff that people lost, they're also giving us this kind of compensation. All right, they're doing the right thing,
Right.
Well, and in the
They
past,
didn't have to, but I
They
agree to
didn't-
Dom's point. They didn't have to do it. They
didn't
could
have-
have
yeah,
simply
exactly.
said,
They
"Hey
didn't have
guys,
to,
this was
yeah.
outside our control. Force majeure. Sorry, deal
Right.
with
No,
it."
Well,
I'm on board on that type of reasoning. They didn't have to do it. They're doing it because they want to. I'm good with that. I don't think they should.
And I
I think
that
what
there's
Rain
even
said
more.
was right.
I think that there's even more justification for them doing it for this as opposed to in the past. There's been times where the chat was out. The game worked fine. It's just the chat was out and they compensated people with SP. So the fact that
But
people
that was
actually
like a
couldn't-
year-long thing. That took months to
I
fix.
guess, but you go back.
For
and
what?
there
And that
were
was
times when the
something they
servers were
did.
down.
Chat
they would
shit.
give- they
But
would
that,
give
yes, that
people-
was also
Oh.
that was their decision to move chat off of Eve servers and onto this third-party AWS, whatever it was that they talked about. So I mean that was on them. They did it. It was their thing. It wasn't some outside third party that was fucking with the chat servers.
But they've in the past they've given out when people couldn't log in, they've given out SP. I remember the first time I saw them do that. That was way back when you couldn't. The 1 day was the max skill queue you could have. You could extend it past that, but once it was past 24 hours, you couldn't add anything to the skill queue. And so when their servers went down for almost 2 days, that actually was like pretty detrimental. So that people can't now the skill queues. I mean, unless someone
you're an
isn't
idiot,
really
yeah.
paying attention or has pretty much not been playing, the skill
alphas-
queues have been
alphas
full.
can't do it,
So,
yeah.
so
Oh, that's right.
even
Good
the
point.
people that
Alphas
couldn't
still
log in
can't.
for a week, they didn't lose any skill training.
But alphas would. But they're not being.
Alphas
They're
would.
not paying
Alphas would,
either, though.
yeah.
But they're
That
not
was
paying.
also
either.
bad.
Who's going to reimburse me the $100 I spent on a 3-year VPN so I could log in for the rest of that
Do
week?
you really spend that much on a VPN?
It's like $3 a month. It was the cheapest deal they had.
That's couch
No.
cushion money for Brisk. Don't worry
Some
about
people
it.
were getting banned for VPN too. That was like.
Well,
the
that
other
was the
example.
thing. Like I held out doing the VPN thing for as long as I possibly could because I was afraid that that I was going to get banned. It wasn't until they put that thing out saying, "We're not saying this is okay, but we're not saying do this, but we're not saying it's bad either."
Why
And I
would
said,
they
"All
be
right,
a-
that's the green light to go ahead."
Why would
so
they
I went
not
ahead
want
and
you to use
got
a
one.
VPN just because they want to make sure
Because they can't
know
trace
where
it back to you.
you- Well, of course,
Well,
but
also,
the
the problem
definition.
is that if the VPNs are being used by botters and stuff like that, if they get banned,
I
they're going
guess.
to tag you unnecessarily.
Yeah,
and
so
they're gonna
it's
ban you
either
for
all.
that.
or
I did
none
have a
type
friend
deal.
get banned when he VPN'd, but he also said he changed his VPN to like 3 different countries in the span of 30 minutes. So it was probably like an anti-hacking ban more than it was
Yeah.
a VPN in
Yeah.
general ban, but he also got unbanned within a day. So he
I was only using the VPN through the UK. That was how I figured if I'm going to log in, I'll do it under the DDoS. And so if they can't, it's going to be harder for them to do it if I'm already in the UK. So that's what I used. But I
Not
got
one
Norton, it's
time.
great.
I'm like the lucky 1%. I didn't. Not one time did I try to log in and not get right in.
Yeah,
Not once.
same. I guess that's the nice thing about living in the middle of fucking nowhere. Turns
Yeah.
out nobody wants. Turns out nobody wants to DDoS this garbage tape. So
Well, that was
It's
the
not-
hard
it's not
part for
directed
me
at you.
because I'm 10 miles away from all of the East Coast internet relays. So if they were doing anything that was getting routed through Reston or Ashburn, Virginia, it was fucking me. So
It was a lot of
that's-
East Coast,
that's-
right? That's why I think
that's one
Yeah.
place they're going
when
to.
we're talking about third-party DDoS mitigation services, there was talks going around that the one specific to the East Coast of the U.S. was a particularly garbage service that had shit reviews, and that's who they were using for mitigation, and that's why U.S. East Coast got the worst of it.
Oh, that's interesting. I did not hear that. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
I don't know the name of the company. I don't remember it, but somebody was tweeting about that.
I mean, Testament in chat is absolutely right. Anybody that was living near a backbone got fucked because that was, obviously if that's where the traffic's being routed through, that's what's going to get nailed hardest.
Well, even the anecdotal evidence proves it. I mean, Bunny and I are both in the shitbox Midwest, and we didn't have any problems at all. Because you're not going to hit this areas. We're not near a fucking a backbone.
I mean, chat was wonky, but besides that, I had no issues.
But that was
Yeah,
CCP's
chat-
problem.
chat
That
was
wasn't
wonky.
getting online.
And the
But no,
chat's,
but
the chat's
but
on
look,
an Amazon cloud server, right?
If it's on an
That's-
Amazon cloud server, that's out of Reston, so that's an East Coast US deal because that's where
Exactly, yeah.
AWS is based here. So that's part of the issue. If they're
I can
hitting
tell you,
us, they're hitting that too.
the nice thing about nobody being able to play means I was able to kind of work on my Rainbow Six game, so I'm slightly better at that than I was before.
I played Farming Sim. Still playing Farming.
Oh
Sim.
yeah, that fucking game.
I beat like 2 different games while it was down. I started playing. I finished Jedi Fallen Order, and I was playing The Sims. I was playing a lot of The Sims.
I drank more and took up heroin.
And then I got
Just
this
for
new
a week.
game called
Just for 1 week.
Redfall, but I
Just for
didn't.
the
I
hell
don't
of
like
it,
it
yeah.
very much.
Like, damn, you gotta tell you gotta break you off your dealer. It's like, damn, dude, it's
Sorry,
been
Eve's
real
back,
fun,
guys.
dude. But this garbage video game I played too much is back, so gonna have to
back. I
cut this
gotta keep this
heroin shit
Sorry,
off.
guys.
Yeah, he
I
wasn't
can't, I
happy
can't
with
hang
it,
with you
yeah.
anymore. I have to play my video game.
I played this terrible spaceship game the whole time. EVE Online.
I did
Yes, sir.
too. I played
Never heard
every
of
day
it.
of that whole time. I
So
made
did
I made a
Is that
point
new?
of doing it just because everybody else was bitching about it, and I was well, fuck you. I'm going to get out here and play. I didn't really do much, but I still was out there playing.
I had
Exactly.
one issue, and it was on stream on the Monday night. I
remember that. I remember watching.
I got
I remember that when you
disconnected
got disconnected in the middle.
in the
Yeah.
abyss. And it
Oh,
it was
that
shady.
sucks.
I had like 170 mil worth of loot, which is a lot
That
for
was
me because I'm poor.
bad.
It was pretty tense. It was pretty tense. I managed to get back in and complete it in time, but it was close.
So I got a question for y'all who stream.
Yeah.
If you find out where somebody is streaming, we'll just throw a hypothetical out there, like streaming level 4 missions, perhaps, and you hunt them down and try to suicide gank them. Is there action that CCP will take against you? Because I was
No.
threatened.
No.
We're trying to-
It's called
we're trying to
stream
suicide
sniping.
gank.
It's stream
So-
sniping. And
So stream sniping from a Twitch perspective is quote unquote bannable. However, Fintaru is an EVE player as well as a Twitch admin, and he has talked to Twitch, telling them and explaining them the meta behind Twitch streams and how EVE as a game with Intel, et cetera, because a lot of people will just have Twitch streams of never streaming the game, like they don't have a title, they don't have a game, but they're just streaming a system on dock or an overview or something, right? Like those Intel streams. So he had to sit and explain to Twitch staff how, hey, in other games, yes, you can use the stream sniping as like a form of harassment and people going after streamers or going after
This is part
viewers
of
or
EVE.
et cetera, et cetera. And he said, but this is
I can
part
tell
of
you,
EVE gameplay. And he
Yeah.
he had to explain how, yes, there is still harassment via stream sniping, but it's different in EVE because
It's not
because it's
harassment.
allowed
It's
within-
gameplay.
Yeah.
if someone comes and
It
fights
can
you,
But even then,
it
it's
can
like,
be harassment depending
how
on
many
how far you
times-
go, but for the most part, it's considered EVE
if
gameplay.
it's
How
Well,
many
I don't
times
agree
has
with you.
then
Marquee
that's an
Dragon
issue.
gotten stream sniped?
Well,
I mean,
I've
it's
used
like
to
a
fire feature,
thing.
and we tortured Marquee Dragon.
Stream sniping is
to the
fine,
point
but
where
if you're,
we
like,
come in
constantly
insistent with
griefing
him,
them-
he would log off.
I feel like
Because
so
you
if
follow
you're
him around.
if you're stream sniping someone in a starter system, that is bannable for both CCP and then I'm assuming Twitch would support that as well because you're not allowed to gank in starter systems.
I would.
I mean,
report
IR
that.
Life in the chat is absolutely right. EVE is harassment. This whole fucking game is just harassment. We're
Pretty
just
much.
harassing each other.
That's a
all
big
we do.
yikes because harassment's like not acceptable. So like for
That's not
example, if
true,
you're
though.
constantly going after someone like in game, and then you use
We-
stream intel for them. So if they have a PayPal and you say, "Hey, I know your real life information," then you're like, "Oh, it's public because it's on your stream as intel." Like that's harassment. Definitely don't do bullshit like that.
Yeah, but cloaky camping is technically
If
harassment.
you
So that's
create an
perfectly
account
fine.
and get banned in the Twitch chat, and then you get so like if for INN, if we ban you and then you keep coming back with accounts to try and harass the streamer, also considered ban evading as well as harassment. Like don't do shit like that. Like I feel like that should
But big
not
difference
need to
between
be
picking on
explained.
somebody and cloaky camping. But both are technically
Yeah.
harassment.
Well, I wouldn't consider cloaky camping
But
harassment. I
it's
would say
It
that's
is
by definition,
absolutely
it's
harassment.
harassment. You're
I would not
harassing an
consider that
area to get
harassment
them
at
not to do their stuff. It's
do I
just a
need
diff-
to like dictionary this for you guys?
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
think
You can
'Cause there's-
dictionary
that's
it,
what
but
I'm
I
saying,
think they have
dictionary, that's-
I
You
think
need
they
to.
have a legitimate argument. But at the same time, I was making
I
a
think that
joke
they-
and you totally didn't get it.
Well, yeah, that's also because I actually have been harassed, and I
Well, yeah.
don't ever.
Who
find it
hasn't
like
been
that.
there's-
harassed? We've all been harassed.
I know, so I
Okay,
don't know
hold
why
on.
you'd.
I've never
do
been
that.
harassed.
There's a
Because
difference between
you got to make
harassing.
light of this shit.
There's a difference between harassing in the person-to-person concept, and there's a difference between harassing in the military
Yeah,
context.
exactly. But they're both harassment.
Right. So if you're harassing a system by being a cloaky camper, that's a military operation. If you're
Yeah.
harassing Rain because she's a girl streamer, that's a personal fucking
It's totally
attack.
wrong.
That's different.
Yeah, totally wrong.
So,
but they're both
Cloaky
technically
camping
are
is
harassment.
harassment. You are correct, but it's not the same harassment. There's different flavors.
Yeah, you should never pick on people. That's wrong. Absolutely wrong.
Yeah.
But to say
And
you
so,
should never harass that can be taken like, oh, okay, I'm literal. I'm gonna take this. That's you should be careful with words. Words mean things. Weird.
I'm just saying it was probably one of the most fun things I've done because I heard that you could on Talking Stations Discord somebody said you could war deck NPC corpse, and I'm like, if that's true, I'm about to abuse this so bad. It turns out you can't, but we were all sitting on comms anyway and found somebody streaming level 4s in a golem, and I'm like, let's all get Taluses and gank that person. But unfortunately, they logged off. But before they did, they hosted somebody else, and then that guy got our wrath instead. So
Sad.
Oh.
Wait,
It happens.
and so then they got mad at you for ganking him and said they're gonna report you for harassment.
yeah, well, he was pretty upset about it at first, but he didn't know.
How
He
did he
didn't say
find
he
out that you were-
reported me.
Does he
Good
play
for your
Eve?
streamer.
Was this his
The
first
thing
time
is, though,
streaming?
The thing that
It's
with
high
Eve-
sec stuff, though. You know
I
what I mean?
agree with the fact that Eve
Fucking
is like
high
a
sec.
different animal in the fact that if you're going to stream Eve and not cover up the systems you're in and stream it real time with no delay,
Oh, I mean,
and you get ganked from
we
stream
used some
snipers
pretty
and you get
ridiculous
upset, well,
means
that's
to
kind
find
of
this
on
guy.
you.
He
you
made the
saying I
effort to
deserved
not
it?
be found. I'm just saying he made the
I
effort
wore a
to
tight
not be
skirt and I
found.
deserved
It's
it.
the
Is that
way
what
you
you're
were
saying?
dressed, Dom.
That's
You
exactly
deserved it.
right. Yeah, I deserved it. I
He,
should have
uh,
wore the tight skirt.
He had his overview covered, his name was covered, everything was hidden, but we used the color of the nebula behind him, and then started
Oh,
looking
wow.
through a system that had high NPC kills.
Okay,
That's
so
like
that's
4chan
Damn, that's
level.
next level. Like me,
Yeah.
me, if they have their systems all blocked out, I just wait till they go through a gate and I'm like, okay, they went through a gate into that system because obviously it's going to show up over the gate. And
Did
then
you
they went
know-
into then you go to the next gate and you're like, okay, now I can pinpoint and triangulate where they were. They were here, and now you just follow.
Fuck yeah.
follow them.
I've seen
Benny,
people
that's
do
the
the
fucking best ever.
background,
That's awesome.
and then
Yep.
they killed someone. So the stream snipers contacted the person he killed in game because it wasn't on Z kill, and so they said, "Hey, where did you die?" And he linked them the kill mail so they could go and find this
You
dude.
just
The
gotta
best
put-
part
you
was,
gotta put
too,
some
right?
sticky
The more
notes
you
on
So-
the
lie,
screen.
the harder people
So we were
try.
worried because there wasn't very many of us that were trying to do it, and so we were worried. It's like, fuck, what if this guy's fit is actually super blinged and we don't get him? So you just ask in the chat, "Hey man, that's a cool ship. What's your fit?"
What's
And
your
they fucking
fit?
link
Did
it.
you? Did he tell you?
no!
All of them did. The Golem pilots did, and the Snake did too. And I'm
That's
like,
That
well,
is-
fantastic.
Gorgeous.
That's that's hey.
There's
Like I
so
said,
like
there's games where
That's once
stream
again-
sniping is kind of shitty.
yeah.
To be fair, as a
Eve
stream-
Online,
was-
I don't think it's
if
that
you're
wrong.
It was
PvPing,
so much
stream
fun.
snipers
I'm
are
not even
great.
lying. It was probably
Yeah.
some of the most fun
Stream
I've ever had
snipers,
in this
if you're-
game.
But you
If
want
you're
stream
PvPing
snipers. That's content.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, unless
if
you
you're
like,
PvPing
log
and you
on.
get stream snipers, that's content. That's good.
Dude,
Right?
it's great. You're like, man, I have to go roaming, and then all these people show up. You're like, hey, I'll fight you.
Sometimes I'll look.
A
and-
lot of times they bring good fights. Like they'll bring their favorite fit versus your favorite fit, and they don't try to fit to counter you or whatever.
I've only done it a
Why
couple
did-
times. Once was with LB, but that wasn't even like stream sniping. That was me just like, hey, I'll come fight you because he took one of those reindeer filaments and it put him in like 5 jumps from NSI. I'm like, I'll jump clone to NSI.
Hell
I'll
yeah.
come fight you. But and then
I won. By
There
the
was
way.
one way back in the day where I hunted the guy down, but he was in like a cruiser, and so I brought I brought like
I
a
was in
somewhat
a
equivalent
T3
ship. I
I was in a
brought
Hecate.
something that was actually be a fight, and he ended up kicking my ass. But
I was in a Hecate. You were in an assault frigate.
Part
It
of
was
the
pretty
reason we
close.
kind of did it
yeah, what
is
was I in?
because
I think I was in a what's the Punisher Tech 2?
Retribution.
Yeah, I was in a Retribution.
one of the minor reasons we also did it is because my pet peeve when it comes to streaming Eve, since I don't partake in PvEs. Whenever you pull up Eve, the Eve category on Twitch, and there's only PvE streams. Like if I see one more super ratting a delve on Twitch, I'm gonna freak out.
That is the most of them though.
I
You're right.
get-
Yeah, I know.
Most of
And
them.
I
What the
get it.
fuck fun is
Triggered by
that?
other
Who
Eve
wants to
streams.
just stream PvE? I don't.
Right.
I would
I
never
tell you what,
watch
See,
that.
but
I-
they get viewers. No,
I
they
watch
get
all.
hundreds of
I
don't
watch
know.
all
I
the
don't
guys
know.
that are
20
PvP.
and
Like,
10.
I like
To be
LB
fair-
when he goes out because
Yeah.
he has
It's
some
Twitch
good
is
good.
tweets.
entertaining.
It's
I mean,
a good way
Manic
to
would,
get viewers. It's a good way to
yeah,
get
Manic
viewers.
used to stream just doing
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. isn't
hacking
it? Yeah.
sites,
And
but
then
I liked
Pandos
watching
are
him 'cause
great,
he was
and
entertaining to
and
listen to.
Bjornbee's
It's great.
great.
If you just want to talk to people, it's also great. Because you're like, man, I'm bored ratting. Hey, let me stream, and then I'll just talk to people. And like, I love doing
And,
shit like that.
you know, the ones who do talk and kind of explain what they're doing, they get a lot of viewers. It's just
They get a lot of viewers, but like if you say, okay, so if you have never played this game before, and I mean you watch other games on Twitch, like you watch the 6 Invitational, go SSD by the way, and somebody's like, hey, I played this game called EVE Online. It's like, shit, I'm on Twitch right now. Let me pull up EVE Online, and then everybody's fucking crabbing.
Yes,
not-
that's
is that
awesome.
is that really what?
You
Is that
sneak
really
those
the
people
face of
in-
the game
into
you want to
and
show?
you get to gank them. That's fucking fantastic.
I mean, whatever Space Magic Pando uses to be successful at it, I wish people could copy it because I would love. There
he
used to be.
hides a lot. Like
Yeah.
I don't like those streams. He hides a lot of intel. He cuts out comms. He has a delay. Like
I
that's
tell you-
Of course he
so
does
Right.
because
So
they
really
don't
what
want
I'm
to
talking
let
about-
everybody know what we're
boring.
doing.
There's
I
a
don't
weird
like-
dichotomy to streaming Eve. You
Fincher
have
is the
to-
best at
You
Eve
have to
streamer
hide
out
a
there.
certain amount of stuff, but you can't hide everything. Because then it's fucking
I don't
stupid.
hide anything. I have
Yeah.
everything on my overview, all the chat. I just
Bunny. Next
I've
week
only
you
streamed
run-
Eve a
you
couple
run,
times.
Let me stream Logi. We'll see how much.
The only
fun that
things
is.
I won't.
I
Now,
have
the
no
best
problem
thing
with
is the
that.
one
I just
thing that
won't show
Pando
Corporate
does very
Alliance
well
chat.
that
I
I
just won't
love
even
that he
activate those
does.
windows, and that's it.
Pando will say things on the stream that are not true, knowing that people are listening and taking his
It's,
intel at face
we've done that
value
before when
to fuck with them. It's great. I love
we
it when he
did
does
that.
that.
What was that?
I did
we
a
were,
podcast
we
for
were
3
in
years doing
BL
that.
running from Horde, and all he's just like, okay, Titans in Squad 1, get ready, get ready, get ready, and then like everyone just stopped following us as we just like warped gate to gate home. Like all you had to do
I've
is
done that
just lie
before.
on stream. It's super fucking easy to bait people. Also, streams are terrible
Yes,
for a
it
lot
is.
of large fight intel.
So back in
They're
Like
fun to
5
watch
seconds,
videos of
but
it later.
I can't remember
but
which
live,
war
those
it
big
was,
fights
but
are
it was
boring.
Daopa used to stream like every fight.
What you got, Drayden?
Every
Oh,
major
yeah.
fight.
Oh,
on
yeah.
Patron
Twitch.
Silver. It's pretty
And there
good.
was another
Fuck
guy
yeah.
who was
Little
doing it
baby
like
Let's say,
Patron,
is-
that's
is
kinda
Shooter
hot.
here? I know
Mad
Shooter loves
Annie,
Patron.
Mad Annie.
no, Matt Annie used to do it too, but there's a dude who streamed the Innsmother fight we had against Fire Coalition, and then Goons came and all that. Can't remember his name. My only issue with him is he talks too
Tequila.
much. I hate whenever people talk over the stream. I'd rather they just sit silent there and show what's going on. It drives me nuts.
I legit can't watch large scale fights because people have all this stupid fucking bullshit all over the screen. It's like, show me the overview, color people properly, show me the intel and local, and just fucking show the fight.
I agree. If you're going to stream something like that, let people know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
I
I
get
did
it.
those
I get it.
streams
It's,
all
you,
the
you
time,
can
and
do
they
it
were
with the
great.
delay.
No, you don't even need
Yeah,
it. If
404
it's just
HD
full
is
intel.
that's who it was. who
Yeah, I
streamed
like
that
him.
fight.
I like
I
him.
just think he
Oh,
talks
dude,
too
I
much.
can't watch his shit. I like go to watch. He's like, look, a bombing run, and then he turns off all the brackets. Like, get the fuck out! Like, you can't see bombs if you
You know
don't
what's going on.
brackets
Yeah,
on.
yeah, I agree.
Well, you also
need to
can't
what's
see
going on.
bombs unless you're like streaming
Unless you're
in 10,
pointing
Which
at
1080p.
brings up,
No,
which
that's
brings up my second
retarded.
most
should make
pet
skins for
peeve when it
bombs.
comes to this game. It's the fucking whenever people make a content like a gameplay fight video and they zoom all the way out.
Yeah,
Right.
you
And
can't
it-
see.
Bunch of
Oh,
orange
like
squares
that
versus
video?
I'll
blue
talk about a
squares?
fight. I'm like, yo, somebody recorded this fight that I was in last night to somebody who doesn't play this game, and they're like, so what? The red squares are angry at the purple
Yeah.
squares, and I'm
Are
like,
you
well,
the purple or the
I'm
orange?
Yeah.
so sorry.
Right, that's it.
how I feel.
It's
fucking
it looks
point
like
at
a
that.
fucking submarine sonar display. These guys
I
have no
have-
idea what the hell it is.
When I make
They
videos of
speed
stuff,
it
I
up
do
to like 4 times the speed, and they throw this ridiculously shitty, loud, heavy metal that's not even good.
That's literally
And
all my
that's the
videos.
fucking stream. That's all it is.
Actually, here, wait, Bunny, I have some intel videos. So, like, I take all my raw footage of recorded fights and I upload it, comms and everything on YouTube, but I don't share it. And I only, like, share the link with FC. So I'm like, hey, here's the intel of how Logi did. I'll share some of those with you, Bunny, so you can actually see them.
It's whenever I was in Diddy Say Jump, I recorded every fight that we had, and it was never all the way zoomed out. It was always because it was after they changed the camera so you could auto whenever you click something, it auto tracked it. So like
Yeah.
I would click,
Oh,
Which
yeah.
is
I would
awful, and I fucking hate it.
Well,
And
once-
I
well,
don't
I
ever
like
want
it.
them
I used
to.
to-
I
I
turn
used
it
to
off
remember
every
how to
time
adjust
I
it.
accidentally hit it.
Yeah, I used to remember how to adjust it so you could
Like Shift C.
yeah,
I always
move
fuck it
it
up.
so you weren't looking down your ship. because then I just click a
You
fax
go
or
to
something that
the
was on grid
tactical
with us.
camera, and then you right click will shift you up, down, left, and right, and then this mouse wheel will scroll you in and out, and then left click will spin. And so that basically gives you all the 3 axes of movement that you need.
And I tried to
So
do
you
when
can
I do
basically
videos,
put the
I do,
camera in any
almost a
point in space.
first-person view, and I'll scroll it out to where you can see the ship. Then I scroll it out to where you see everybody. Then I scroll back in. I try to give all the views of it. I mean, why would you?
I
I
like
just-
using that in fights.
that shit
especially when
drives
we're
me
just
nuts.
anchored up because then it's like I don't need to see where my ship's at. I want to see what's going on all around. But
you
I'm
got
kind of
to,
ADD
yeah.
with it, so I'm sure if I recorded, I mean, I've recorded a couple of things, but I don't really show them to anyone because they'd be like, "Jesus Christ, dude, calm the fuck down, and take some Adderall before you film anything." Good Lord.
Well,
It
or
just-
you could be like Drayden and then be an interceptor and slowly cruise toward the keep star and then die in the middle of the stream.
That was
It
excellent.
could,
That was so good that the fight was over, the stream was pretty much done, and then I died. So I'm glad it didn't happen in the middle.
That was the best part.
Yeah,
Good time.
Wait, I'm uncloaked. What's happening?
I didn't realize I double clicked, and I wasn't in an interceptor. I was in a I think I was in a bomber or something. But yeah, I was cloaked up, but I double clicked towards the keep star, towards something. Towards the not the keep star that blew up, but the other one. And
You slowly slow boated cloaked in until
Yeah.
you were out of.
and then eventually
Yeah,
I got
that's
close.
amazing.
to
Here,
got
bunny.
cloaked.
I mean, so if you're doing like, okay, I want to hit on something that I keep seeing in chat. You don't stream fleets because it's intel for the enemy. Well,
No.
I don't mean to be an asshole, but if you're not doing strategic objectives, your intel does not matter because your hostiles probably have it anyway.
But even then, I mean, that's the thing. You have to assume that if it's a strategic objective, that whoever you're dealing with has eyes on you. Now, if like Pando, I love Pando. His fleets, honestly, sometimes when he streams, I get nervous, but he also has a delay. So it's like a 30-second to a 1-minute delay. So it's not like we're really losing that much. But if you're not actively hunting, if it's strategic, then they have eyes everywhere you are anyway. So it's not like they're giving. I mean, Bunny's right. You're not giving anything.
Yeah. If you're a
stream.
fleet of a decent size, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Somebody's got eyes on you.
I will
It's just a
say,
fact.
Yeah.
I will say I've had tons of FCs cry to me. The thing is if you're watching a stream, so I do absolute minimum delay. I do, like, it used to be a beta for Twitch of like 0 delay as close as possible, and even like 5 to 10 seconds with target calling. If you're relying on a stream over someone actually like a
Yeah.
spy in the channel, it's too much of a delay.
If your
Like,
live
Absolutely.
intel
I
is
agree,
Twitch, you're already fucking it up.
yeah.
Absolutely.
The best thing Twitch
Right.
did, and like I remember I got yelled at for this, is because like you could show a line in warps, so dictors could immediately know, okay, they're aligning here, let's warp here. So if you warp to like a cluster of planets, it's a lot of times difficult for people to know exactly where. So that's like the only thing. But otherwise, it's like if you're relying on a stream for intel, you're probably fucking garbage already.
Now, I will say,
the
all
only
right,
time an
now-
FC would be worried about it is if you're trying to sneakily move stuff from one place to
Yeah,
another.
like
Right,
if you're
if you're
I can
doing,
So
see
then you want to know how
Right.
you want to know how you get through that? Pando does it all the time. He starts streaming once you hit grid.
right,
If you're already there, guess
No, I
what?
agree.
They
That's
know
what
then
you're
it doesn't
there.
matter, right?
As long as
Exactly,
you're
we're
not
in.
streaming the sneaky part.
Hit the
What
broadcast
else
button
he's
as
gonna
soon as
care,
your dreads
you know?
head jump. That's, I mean,
Now
only
the
thing I
other
will
thing,
never
now
agree-
Araya's point in the chat about streaming comms, especially if you're in the command channel, that's bad.
that's
Because
fine.
frankly, I don't want how FCs call a fight and the things that they tell people to do and stuff like
Matter.
that. That has value.
It does.
That
yes, it
has
does.
solid intel value.
So I guarantee you,
So,
Bunny
I don't want to hear
calls
that
it
shit.
differently than X person from Imperium. You know,
Oh, yeah,
just
absolutely.
a slight, even if it's just slightly.
I think
If I
it's
know
also
how he calls his targets, I know how to fucking set my Lachi up.
Well, it's like game footage, right? Looking at game footage to see what other quarterbacks do or what other teams play.
Exactly
And
right.
then you look
So-
at another
Exactly.
FC and see how
So
he
Ta-
plays it.
So Tassamet's talking about streaming line membership, but I also will say, like, you as a line member, like people who join alliances and join fleets, like whether it be Spectre fleet or some big alliance fleet or some small gang fleet, they may not want their voice shared, they may not want what they're saying shared. Like, I know there are plenty of people who sit in like groups of channels just to talk to their friends. So if you're streaming and you don't let people know by like any measure or whatever, like you have 150 people in fleet and you don't say, hey guys, I am streaming, is every one of you okay with this? Then some dude might say some shit, whether it be inappropriate or not, or just talking about, say, his real life, how his job is going, you know, shooting the shit with his friends, complaining about his wife. Like, he may not want that streamed, or they might not want that streamed. So I think that's super, like, something you really have to consider when you're
I think
streaming
you're 100%
other
right,
people.
Rain.
I would just like to
agree.
say for the record that I would watch LB twirling his mustache for like an hour at a time.
That is
would be-
fantastically
If you want to do that on
stylized.
stream whenever you want, I'll watch that.
That's my next
Just
stream.
chatting.
Just mustache maintenance.
That'd be fantastic. I'd watch that too.
Reminds me of the mustache song from A Thousand Ways to Die in the West, or whatever that movie was called. All you need
Can
is
I
a big
tell you
mustache.
guys about my new favorite toy?
Yes.
Look what I
Is
got.
Is it that?
If
is it a
that's
flip
a
phone?
vibrator,
the thing
dude,
you
I'm
play
gonna
with
freak
your
out.
hand forever now. Yeah.
I've been playing with this because it's cool. I have it on my desk. So,
Flip phone.
do any of you guys actually know what this is?
That
Vibrator.
is a
Mouse.
manscaping tool.
No.
It's a mouse.
Are you
Vibrator.
guys? Oh my god. Does anybody in the chat know what this
Stud,
is?
stud
I can
finder.
only see
Oh,
one side of it.
it's
Brisk,
Star
so-
Trek.
Yeah,
It's a
Brisk,
Star Trek
can you like
communicator.
360 it? Like,
Star Trek communicator.
A phaser.
Yeah,
Thank
phaser.
you.
There you go.
It is a fucking phaser.
I was
But the cool
close
thing
too.
is, it's
Come on.
a Star Trek Original Series phaser. But here's the best part: it's actually a bottle opener.
It's
I
fantastic.
just got this from one of the toys that they just came out with this, so I can open my bottles with a phaser now. So it's kind
So
of
you
I
can, you
knew
can
it.
set
I
your
knew it.
alcohol
Neat.
to stun.
cool.
Where did you get it? Where can I?
I have to let me
Set your
pull it
bottles
up
to
and I'll
stun.
put it in the chat.
Set the
But
bottle to
I
stun.
fucking love this thing.
I mean, my bottles
It's-
are always
it's
set to
fun to
stun,
play with.
trust me.
Always did the stun. Yeah, so see,
I
mine
actually
seemed
just
to be
got
too.
my new favorite toy
My
in
beer
This one
bottle is
tonight
less
seemed to be
fun.
set to
Shipping
kill though.
today. It's
Next
Mole-
destination,
Molecule
Blackout.
Kit. I love it.
Oh, you finally got your molecule kit. Big Bad Toy Store.
What do you mean
that's
finally?
it
I
is.
ordered it
Full
yesterday. I ordered it standard ground shipping yesterday, and it showed up this morning because apparently
fucking
it got
badass.
shipped
Where'd
from
you get-
Missoula, which is like a couple-hour drive from here. So
Mazula.
You mean Missouri?
no, Missoula. It's a town in
Montana?
western Montana.
I
Yeah. But no, it's oh man, I used to love these.
Isn't
but
that
the cool
where
thing about
Far
these,
Cry
like,
was made?
it's like building molecules and chemistry and stuff, but instead of using the sticks and everything, they're all magnets, so they're super easy to.
Well, they had those for a while, then they banned them because kids were swallowing them. So it looks like they made them bigger this time.
And, yeah, like you could make like here.
Rain, that would be fucking cool, actually.
one of my
It's-
goals in life is to go to court, like being subpoenaed for chat
There,
communication.
that's what we're
but
drinking.
to explain to
Ethanol.
a court and a jury why like I use emojis in chat channels. But to do that,
It's like a
and to
poodle.
get subpoenaed, I either first have to commit an atrocious
pretty close.
crime or I have to know someone who commits an atrocious crime, and I don't want either of those to happen. So
Well,
I
what do
feel
you
like,
want me to do?
well, all I want is like the court to pull up and be like, "So, Miss Rain, why did you use 200 squirrel emojis in this conversation?" You know,
Hey,
like
Rain, you know
some
Rain.
shit like that. Or what does "get dunked, loser" mean?
Define
you know
eggplant
Rafe.
emoji.
He'll do
What is
something
that?
atrocious. So
What is
just ask him.
eggplant emoji? Wary sweat drop, sweat drop.
What do vegetables have to do
I
with
would love to see you
volcanoes,
explain
Miss
that to a
Rain?
jury.
What is this hand stroking a rutabaga? Whatever the fuck that is.
I like
There's
I
some-
Eggplant.
have to
I-
sit in front of a jury as like animated
Rutabaga.
emojis on a screen and be like, "Look, we were all just shit posting. We didn't know this dude was a murderer, okay? Like something like that."
Well, we didn't know it until we asked him to murder somebody.
I had
for
no
us, but-
idea that this man killed Kennedy.
I have an
mean-
after dark story kind of like
It's
that.
it's only a
Uh-oh.
matter of
Did you
time
get
before
subpoenaed
something
for
wild
emojis?
happens on Eve,
No,
right?
not for emojis, but
and
something
then
else.
and then all you're gonna wake up. You're gonna be sitting, watching TV, and then at some point you'll see a headline on a major news site, something about this stupid fucking game or something that someone said. It's only a matter of time. It's going to happen soon.
Man
Kinda
stabs
like-
other man over internet spaceships. And it's gonna be like people we know. We're gonna be like, "Oh my god, he stabbed him! What the fuck?"
And they're gonna say like, "Hey, I just stabbed this guy," and you're gonna be the person who typed below it, "Haha, nice."
Or I'm gonna do like a react image check or whatever.
That's
Yep.
You'll be asking. Do you know who this other Blazing Bunny character is? No,
If
I don't know.
you,
who he
you
is.
reply with "get dunked."
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about MER now?
I had a question about the MER, and it's does this MER capture the entirety of the ore change? Or is it
halfway
through?
No, I think it's still. I think you're going to have to get all of
I thought the ore
February.
change was recently. Like
The
that
ore
was
change
I
was
think
last
the ore change will
Tuesday.
be the next. I think it'll
Yeah,
be the
ore
next
change is
video.
It'll be,
Maybe the next
and
one.
even then it'll be a couple days before. But hey, you know what? Oasa
Bro.
beat Delve, man. 5 trillion. You beat him by a trillion isk.
Only in
Oasa did?
That's
NPC
pretty fucking
bounties. 'cause
crazy.
They didn't beat
Step
them
up,
in
goons.
production and mining. Only in NPCs.
That's it. So, but here's the thing. That's the way of the future. I mean, if you're looking at all the stuff that CCP's been doing, they're nerfing everything related to mining and
Yeah.
and mineral production. So, What's
Yeah.
left? Everybody's going back to ratting. Now,
Yeah,
I
your,
don't know.
your strength is going to be now in Liquid Isk. So
Right.
Then
So that's
minerals are
straight
gonna be-
straight up bounty. So guess what's getting nerfed next, guys?
ratting.
Ratting.
Again.
Fuck you. Good.
We
Battleships.
I can't remember if it was last week or not, but I hate PvE in this game. I hate it.
I agree with
It's so monotonous, so boring. Anomalies are repetitive. I mean, missions, and the worst of it all is missions in high sec, right? You
Yes.
just join this game, you have no idea what's going on, you don't know anybody who plays, and what's the first thing they have you do? The same 5 missions
Yep.
over
Yeah,
and over again.
all the
Now-
effort they
now, I
put
will
into
say
this-
this.
In the
Over the
defense of
course of the
PvE,
beginning-
I want you to try a T4 filament just once. Just
No,
try
in the
one
beginning-
T4
As a
filament.
new player,
I've
the
tried
amount of
filament.
effort they
That's
put into
cool.
trying to fix
So that's-
this is ridiculous. It
That's
should
so-
be way better than it is right
Not
now.
yet, Oaken.
So think about the creativity that went into the filaments, right? The changing environments. Why can that creativity not be applied to missions? Missions. We were
agree
talking about this.
1000%. This
We
is-
were
I will
talking
tell
about
you
this while
exactly
trying to
why.
gank this. We were talking about this. We were trying to gank the streamer. There's the Eve survival site has guides, and those guides are like 11 years old. Why? Because they don't have to fucking
They don't-
change them.
they don't need to
Missions
change
don't
Here is the
change.
problem.
That's
And
what
I
I
will
tell
tell you
you.
this because I
Every-
asked this question, and it's in the minutes of one of the CSMs that I was on. The bottom line is the mission code is some of the absolute oldest code.
Then
in
delete
Eve.
it.
Pods
Then
code.
It
rewrite
was,
Delete it.
but it is so
Control A,
ingrained in
delete.
there. It's like
Oh,
spaghetti postcode stuff.
with pods code.
That, and
Delete
I
the
asked
passcode.
I asked them
Passcode
flat out. I
delete.
said, because the one thing that I heard from people more than anything, you know, for at least from the high sec people, was they want more content. We need to do missions. We're tired of running the fucking, you know, damsel 1,000
I can only
times.
save the little $1
Right.
so many fucking times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I asked them that, and flat out what they said was that this is some of the oldest code in the game, and that it would be very difficult for them to go in and make any changes to the point that it's easier for them to create new content like the Triglavians, like the
If they
Abyssal
want to
sites,
grow this
than it is to go
game,
back and fuck with
the
missions.
only thing they can do is rewrite the fucking the players the mission code. Then
That's the only thing that worries me is if they
they
do
have to
that,
do
you know,
this.
what's gonna change? I mean, what are they gonna fuck up when they do that?
I don't
Because
know.
it's so
To me,
old
it's
code.
worth it.
It's
If
like
they can fuck up
it's
null
like a bowl of
second, low second
spaghetti.
completely. If you wanted this game to survive, you got to get new players, and the new player
Well,
experience still sucks.
But that's what
missions are
I mean.
stupid.
That's I think to LB's point. You know, the addition of Abyssal Dead Space, that was supposed to be new,
that's existing player
challenging
content.
PVE content that you can do, and it's in bite-sized chunks. It's 20 minutes at a time.
For existing players.
For
No, you
existing
can get it
players.
in as an alpha.
But even
You-
then, I
you
mean, but
can,
even then,
but
like
you
you can do
won't.
the frigate
If you're
stuff.
brand
You can do
new,
the frigate
you're
stuff,
never
the
gonna get to
T1s,
that.
and you can get the T1s and T2 stuff.
Not without
I mean,
an
relatively
external help.
easily.
I
No,
don't
you
know,
can.
I
Yeah,
just-
you're.
they
I mean,
need-
obviously,
they
you're going to have to. But
they need
that's
to
not a
revamp
bad
the new
thing
players.
because we want the one metric that they track very well is that if you join a corporation that's not an NPC corporation, you're more likely to stick around. So they want to drive players to join.
Yeah,
player
but you know what?
corps.
If they had good player content and a lot of mission variants and a lot of different types of missions, a lot of different missions specifically, you wouldn't need to have the joining of a non NPC corporation be the thing that keeps people in this game. You'd have both
Dom, I'll
of those
tell you,
things
I
that
just
keep-
this is not. I mean, I get shit on every time I say it, but I'm not going to stop saying it because I think it's true. This is not a PVE oriented game. The PVE
not.
is a means to
No.
an end. It's a PvP based game, and that's what attracts people to it.
Just-
The PVE
But-
is
but
there
this game is
to
not
get you
a
started and
PvP
teach you how to
PvP
play
shouldn't
it.
make you want to quit or
But when you
buy.
But that's
start
the
this game,
thing.
you're not
It's
PvP.
there, but I don't think any. I mean, there are a lot of players, yeah, that love the PVE. I can't wrap my brain around that mindset. I grant it, and that funny thing,
It's a
me
means to
saying
an
that
ends.
it's
Get some
funny
money.
considering for 9 of the first 12 years that I played this game, all I did was high sec mission running because that's all I knew how to do, and I didn't have a group of friends to go hang out with, so I didn't know anything about it. So that was the game to me. It's one of the reasons why I didn't get engaged like I am now with the game back then, because all I did was fucking mission running and high sec.
But if you
random
made
shit
mission
by
running
myself.
more exciting, you get more players, and then you have. The thing is, it is both. You're right. It's a PvP game. It's a PvP game that you don't get to do PvP when you first start it.
Yeah.
You don't get to. You know, it's just a thing you don't get to do unless it's not consensual, which is the best kind of PvP, honestly. But if you don't have that, it's just gonna be hard to keep newer players. Newer players are younger. The younger mindset is different than you and I.
No, I do not.
I agree. I mean, look,
If
I
they
understand.
marketed this game as the Dark Souls of MMOs, then people would play it. right? Because it's supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be difficult. You're
I don't.
supposed to
Yeah,
die.
I agree with you. I don't want to make it.
But
easy.
I mean, and
I
they
want more
do.
variance.
But part of the problem, I think, part of the other problem is that this is the game that you see. The number one comment on every article that talks about anything that happens in Eve is,
Dom, you said you don't.
"This is the game I love to read about, but I'll never play it because it's too hard."
But PvE
I don't want to make it easier. I
is
just want to make more
literally
variant.
being able to be done for the same way in a decade. PvE is so simplified now, except maybe actually Abyssals have been like tweaked. To
I
the point,
agree.
like everyone's mastered
He's
it.
saying he
Don't
wants
make
more
it
variance
easier.
in it, though.
I don't want
what he was
more
saying.
easier. I want just more variance.
Not harder PvE.
I'd be okay with
harder,
that
just
for sure.
different
So
Okay,
you,
okay.
it's two. It's
No,
not just
I would
one
support
issue though,
harder.
right?
I just
So
I won't support easier.
you need
Harder's better,
variance,
yeah.
right? Because
Okay.
how much money do you really make off of fucking level 1 missions? Is it really enough to
It's like
get started and
tens of
start?
thousands per mission.
Right. I
The
mean,
easy is our level 1 missions enough to maintain
I think you actually get more
14-year-old's
like for the
attention
level of
span,
missions when you kill
not
like go
not
kill
the
these
anomaly, but
rat
the
freaks, you
greater
get more money
group.
that way. Sorry, Dom. I talked over you.
I'm sorry. I open. Eve is open to the people, the anomalies. That's really who end up playing this game, not the greater group. It's the people who are like that niche thing, and that's nothing wrong with that. I'm one of them, obviously, but it's not really. If you talk about the greater group of players out of game players out there, not Eve players, but all games, it's a small niche that's going to like Eve right now. If they want to survive, they may either maintain that small niche and maintain it well, or grow the niche. And what do you do?
I think it's a balance. I mean,
It has
if
to be a balance,
Brisk
yeah.
if Brisk is right, and it's such, because the other thing you don't want, to be devil's advocate, right? As much as I fucking hate missions, I've never actually made it to level 4 missions, by the way.
Same here.
I've never been able to do the high sec thing. I've only ever PvP'd in this game.
Come hang
If
out.
it's-
I have a high sec Care Bear space. You can run high level
No,
4 missions.
I
out of it.
actually will not
Go
do that.
visit.
If it's so ingrained in the game code and it's so deep and they can't fucking figure it out without investing so much dev time, I don't actually think I want them to. Honestly.
And that's and to be honest, I don't either. What I would rather they do is, like I said,
Battleships that shoot out frigates. That's what
we
we
can do that. We can talk about that next. But
We're not-
to finish the point, I think in the end,
Too soon.
the Abyssal Dead Space was a perfect example of creating a PvE system that is different, but also that provides the ability of everybody that wants to can do it anywhere in the game. You go to a special place, it's instanced, it's cool, it's fun to do, and I loved running those missions until I was losing. I lost too many ships in a row, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm not doing this anymore." At least not for now. I'll end up doing it again, but it's fun. Well, look, you get that. Look, you get that last room with like 15, Newting Leshaks in a tier in a level 5, and you're fucked. There's no way to get around it, so you're just gonna die. So that's just bad luck, and you get a bad roll. But you know what? You get 3 bad rolls in a row, and you're losing 7 built ISK ships and pods. Fuck that. Not doing it.
Or you just
Put
run out
money
of
in your
time.
pause to run
It's-
abyssals.
Oh
It's one
hell
of those
yes.
games that if you join this game and you know somebody who already plays it, you end up having more success and more fun in the game than if you start by
That's
yourself.
part of the deal. Like, this is one of the things where we talked about this multiple times on my CSM, and I know others have talked about it. The number one factor
Vote Blazing Bunny
keeping
for CSM,
somebody
by the
in
way.
past 30 days is getting them into
I'll
a player
support you,
forum
Blazing.
where they're meeting other people.
I'll vote for you.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Which, by the
That's
way,
what keeps people in this game.
and if you're a new player and you're like,
Yeah.
I really want to do all this stuff, what are these people talking about? Check out Redemption Road, Redemption Space Road, in-game chat. Grey Gal runs New Bro Fleets. She's the #1 way of getting new players to stick around. Definitely join her fleets if you want to learn how to play and you want to learn how to PvE.
Grey Gal's
PvP,
great.
PvP.
You got Brave. You got brand newbies who just left
Oh, no,
test,
no,
which
no, no.
is weird.
Brand newbies.
You've got Karma Fleet in
Grey
Goons,
Gal
which
is
is
the number
also
one.
great.
Ignore all this. Ignore all this.
No.
Grey
Don't
Gal's
ignore
number
it.
one.
Grey Gal's
Grey
good.
Gal is
Karma
number
Fleet's number
one.
1. Karma
No,
Fleet
they're not.
is number
Grey
1.
Gal's number one.
No.
CCP
You know-
Pandemic
Grey
Horde
Gal's
is another good
Grey
one.
is 1,000
Everybody's
times
got a
better than
Horde
any of this other
character,
shit.
even me.
Dude, if you're a
So-
new bro and you
I'll
want
be
to learn
okay.
how to play the game, join NC Dot. We'll take
Join
anyone.
Karma Fleet.
No.
Don't join.
Do
fucking-
not,
Yeah.
do not
But
join
you have to
NC
have a
Dot.
cap and a fax and a dread. So have all that.
If I
Karma
can get
Fleet
in,
is
anyone
recruiting.
can get in. Just join NC Dot.
No.
On
They
the-
let
on-
Drayden in. Anybody
Grey
can
Gal
get in.
vouch.
Again, in the defense of PvE, one of the advice I get to new players all the time is Google is your friend because it's a 15, 16, 17-year-old game. And everybody's done everything. So there's
Yeah,
a walkthrough,
that is
talkthrough, and a
true.
video on everything. So that's handy for a new player if they're completely lost to be able to go on YouTube and be like, okay, I have to do this. and there's 4 different videos on it, and they're all step-by-step walkthroughs. That's super handy. And then you have the Abyss, which is completely random and scalable.
Which is
You
why I
can do
like
that.
it. That's why
So
I
you
like
have-
it.
you have the
Kinda
best of
wanna
both
go
worlds.
run
on
the
You can't-
Abyss right now.
You have to plan for every worst case scenario, even knowing that there's one worst case scenario that you're going to get fucked by, no matter what. So I mean, I was running a solid Suetonia fit that he gave me.
Sack.
The sacrilege, the 7
Yeah.
bill fucking fit with a totally snaked out pod and everything, and
Gross.
boom, and just shit, you know.
And you lost
lose
it?
that twice in a row, and you're like, oh fuck.
I
You know
would
what I
commit
was actually
Sudoku.
pretty interested in while we're talking about Abyssal is the Abyssal PvE sites, the Coliseum, whatever, where you 1v1 someone to
The
the
Proving
death.
Grounds, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh
That
my
made me
god! I
laugh.
always, every time I open up the Eve Online section at Twitch, I always hope there's somebody streaming Abyssal PvP because I mean, I guess that's as close as you can kind of get to CCP sanctioned, built into the game tournament style PvP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Torvald.
Somebody built a
Torvald
leaderboard,
Ruins,
like
it's-
It's just the hard part is, and you know, Denise is saying that they don't spawn in USTZ. I remember when they didn't spawn in AUTZ because there was a bug, and that was a big pain in the ass. I remember the first time I got in, I was like, "This is going to be great. I'm going to murder this guy. I have this best fit from this super nerd CSM. I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna kill this guy so bad." And I got in, and the fucking guy had the exact same fit as me, and we just sat there.
plinking away at each
bad.
other.
And then I fucked up. with
Suetonia
overheating,
has
and he beat me.
Suetonia has another fit for the Proving Grounds. It's a caracal, like a super cheap caracal, but it kites like a motherfucker. So what you do is you get into the Proving Grounds, you start kiting the other guy. He can't kill you, and the time starts to tick down. So you open a combo with him and say, "Hey, bud, you give me 100 mil, I'll self-destruct right now. You can have all the loot."
It's a good strategy.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a
So
great
you're basically
It's a
strategy.
good
holding-
strategy. Why
Yeah,
not?
that's
You're
a
basically
Suetonia.
holding
Welcome to
ransom.
Eve.
Didn't
You
somebody
hold them
lose
ransom,
a,
and then you
love
get a bunch of
Suetonia.
money,
Oh,
pays for your
shit.
ship, pays for
Like,
your loot.
somebody lose a fiend
Here's how to win
at
when
the
you lose.
Abyss? Did Big
think
Micro
so.
lose a fiend like in a 1v1 and they both timed out and so like there was no kill mill generated? I'm pretty sure someone lost.
Oh
the fiend.
man,
I
losing
thought
a
I
fiend in
heard
a 1v1
that.
with no kill mill
Did I,
is
did I
is
hear that
awful.
like somewhere?
Big
Like,
Micro's got the best fucking combat videos out
he's
there.
a great dude. Big Micro.
He's awesome, yeah.
Glorious PvPer.
That's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. So, do we want to talk about
This
battleships having
fucking
babies?
battleships.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
yes, pregnant battleships are
How,
awesome.
look.
Frigate
I'll
escape
tell you
The
this.
double fucking kill mails alone.
This is the
worth it.
best
Yeah.
thing in like the last
It's-
year.
Love it.
Easy.
It's like I think we all agreed
Look
in
at the
Discord
meme
it's
I posted
super
with it.
gimmicky, but it's gonna be
Don't
fun. I
talk
think.
to me or my
It's
son
so
ever again.
fucking-
Bargas on this fucking garbage.
Exactly.
Like,
It's so fucking
funny.
good. I cannot wait to
You
fit
should
every
all
battleship I
fucking
have with
battle
Nurgles. It's gonna be awesome.
Well, I'm curious as to because I mean obviously there's gonna be like when it comes to
That's
the
a good idea,
battleship
Biff.
fleet doctrine
Totally
for the
gonna do
big
it.
blocks. They're gonna have their own strategies of what frigates go in those to verse certain fleets. But then when you get
But you
down
know-
to
but you know
the
what?
solo PvP and the small gang and the gate campers and stuff, that they're gonna have something totally different than that. I mean, maybe
But
they'll
here's the
have
thing.
Interceptor in there to
This
run
is
away
gonna
with
be
the block.
hilarious. Imagine
But you can't
for
put
a
interceptors.
moment.
That's right.
Imagine for a moment you're the goons, and you have a Typhoon doctrine that you're currently running in the north,
I mean, kind of running in the north. But
kind of running
Continue.
in the north, and you already use frigate
Fair.
Logi to handle keeping your
Yes.
battleships up. So imagine you run a battleship fleet where everybody has frigate Logi in their battleships.
I pointed that
So
out just
if
yesterday.
the
Yep.
other guys start shooting us, and we
Yes.
start dying. All of a sudden, we have more Logi on grid than we had when we started, and you can't break them anymore.
But the-
know what I'm-
How cool is that? That's like a whole
The
totally
Logi's
different
good, but I
meta
think
you have to
the
deal
Logic
with.
warfare
either,
frigates are going to be
but we won't
really
die.
important.
I
You know what I
love it.
like? You know what I like more than that is say you're in Goons, right? And you're flying a Typhoon and you get murdered in your Typhoon and you eject into the
Harpy
Logi
fleet.
frig. Oh shit, I can't fly it.
Well, that
That's
would
what
be
I'm
funny.
waiting for.
That
That would
That's
be
what I'm
funny.
Right,
Oh,
yeah.
It's
like,
half these
That would be
motherfuckers
funny.
not
That
having
would
the
be
skills to
skills.
do any of the stuff.
That will
They're
happen.
shit Logi pilots and they die worse. That's what I'm waiting for because that's gonna be.
Well, I
way
mean, that would
funny.
happen to me
You're not wrong.
because
That
I
will
have all the
happen.
Logi skills, but I'm awful at Logi, so
But
I
people
don't
will
do
buy
it.
Biff, you click the
Typhoons
buttons, okay?
off of contract. Buy it. It'll have a Logi frigate in it. They won't
Yep.
change it, and they won't realize they can't fly it.
Exactly.
That will happen.
Well, here's
Yeah.
the thing.
I'm
that,
sure that'll happen. I'm sure it'll happen.
I'm just because when you get into if you're taking a battleship out and someone comes to fight you, they might have something to kill a big slow battleship, and then all of a sudden you pop out into an assault frigate,
Oh
and
yeah,
maybe they
you
can't
basically
track
use
those.
That's
so
the-
you
but
can
that's the
dump
best
them, so that's
thing.
like you killed my battleship, but now I got your technical
That's
cruiser
what
or
that's
You
what
have
I'm
a
saying. Like
100-man
it's
goon
going to be funny
battleship
if
fleet.
It's
you
gonna-
All of a
have.
sudden you got now a 100-man goon fucking Harpy fleet. That might be
Right.
worse.
That's
That's
the
what we were
thing.
talking
Like
about.
you can have a fleet that is set up to deal with battleships that cannot deal with frigates
We were
because they
talking
can't
about
hit
that
them.
because
Harpies love big
VVV
ships.
runs Dommies like with no logi because in the words of Sao himself, he said, "Why would I want to run logi if I can just have more Dommies?"
There you
And
go.
and imagine now you bomb those Dommies off because they're garbage fit, they're gonna die anyway, and
Right.
out they shit a Harpy doctrine that they all also fly.
There you
Yes,
go.
No, it's
And then you're going to get
absolutely,
fucking
yeah.
murdered, which is going to be great. I
Or
can't
get-
wait.
Hell
I
attack 'em.
fully support this change. This is fun stuff.
And the thing is, that it's so gimmicky and it's such a, but it's going to
There's
have
gonna
a
be a lot
pretty
of
big
fucking,
impact. I think,
frigate
especially
kill
now that.
males.
And this is actually a question I have for you, Blazy, because all of a sudden now all these groups are starting. I mean, for the longest time, it's
Maelstrom
been
doctrine.
right. Well, I love the Maelstrom.
Well, they
It's
don't die,
probably
So
one
I'll
of my
tell
favorite
you. I'll tell you
battlefields.
the problem
see a
with.
frigate.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
Unfortunately for us, right? Our Maelstrom doctrine, due to the numbers that we have to employ with it, if we start bleeding Maelstroms, because Brain brought it up as soon as they announced the change. If we even if we put Logi frigs in the Maelstroms, we can't lose that many Maelstroms before becoming combat ineffective.
But yeah,
Well,
'cause
right.
you
That's
lose
what I'm
your-
saying.
You're
That's what I'm
losing
saying.
your
Once
DPS,
you're
yeah.
low on
Electronic warfare,
DPS,
you
you're
got to
fucked
bring
anyway.
in. Like,
Even if I can't kill
So
you,
it's a
you
cool
can't kill me.
concept.
You can't.
but for
They can't
our
kill you, but you
particular-
can't kill them. So
Yeah,
there you
for
go.
our particular
Still me.
situation, it's not good. It doesn't really do anything for us.
Well, I was
But
Just
for,
let me live out my
for the
fantasies,
Imperium's
okay?
deployment situation, this is a perfect thing, because we don't need to do that. We're the ones aggressing. We're having fun with it, so we lose all our fucking Typhoons. But now we're in a Harpy fleet. That's worse for the enemy than it was.
I think
before,
it's
so
great. I mean,
I
that's
think
the
it's
thing.
awesome.
It
This is
and
gonna be
the
so
other
much fun.
best part is it extends fights, and it provides at least some kind of a way for, even if you get like completely obliterated in the first 5 minutes, you don't have to just pull off grid and then go away. You can
Yes,
keep fighting,
agreed.
or at least there's
It
a
also-
second fight.
It also
like that.
is a boon to the industrialists who now have to produce more ships, because every major engagement uses battleships. You're figuring you're using
have
twice
frigates
as many
too.
ships as you would before.
Right.
So those people now have to replace all those ships. So it's a boon across the board in game. It really, as long as everyone embraces it and uses it and has fun with it,
considering
it's a
that,
boon across the game.
considering that a
And
lot
like
of the
Testament
frigs,
says, they're going to use all those minerals up, right?
Yeah.
I would say,
Exactly.
considering
Right.
that with the mineral change, you're not going to see T1 frigates, and you're going to see predominantly T2 stuff. So it'll eat up a lot
Right.
of moon minerals,
A
maybe.
lot of moon goo. Yeah.
Yeah. So it really,
Yeah, I
it
mean, that's the
helps
thing, like,
almost
I-
every aspect of the game is aided in this change.
As much as I expect to see
Most-
harpies, I think
Not all. I said most.
why would you not throw assault frigates, because they're the most survivable. So
I will say like low sec will really benefit from this too, because
Oh,
like a lot of people
absolutely.
talk like
or
a lot of
Ewar.
people talk about like bombing, like smart bombing folks or whatever. Like when you lose your battleship, like battleship brawls
my
and
God.
low sec are great, especially when you can like, stake your pods. Well, now you finally have like an
Kitsunes.
instant way
Oh.
of keeping your like ship safe. You can get like a frigate that's sub 2 second align time, and like warp out, or you can like get into it like you guys said, assault frigates and continue the fight. Like
Wait,
I think it'd be super
Or-
great.
in
or
your
even
point,
worse,
Rain,
You're
'cause,
fighting
that-
at zero
that
on a
adds another
battleship
element to
fleet.
it. People
You
who
get
make
killed in your
implants are gonna be
fucking in your
benefited by
Mac or
this.
whatever, and then instantly smart bomb to death.
So
I mean,
hold on a
it's
second.
like-
Does this,
that's
does this
fantastic.
mean
That's what you
that
need
You have
to
an
do.
ADC.
Battleship fleet supported by
that there
smart
may
bombing
be a
Loki.
use for the Griffin Navy issue again?
All right, we got Redline
Ooh,
coming in.
no
Hold
one
on.
wants that.
There you go.
What's up, Redline?
Not.
Oh Lord.
Bell
Redline.
Czar. What's up, dude?
Well,
Hi,
I
Redline.
was gonna ask you really quick, this Bunny. What caused the switch in the meta to battleships? Because before it was Eagle and Munin dominated. Like that's all that it was. And now all of a sudden you're seeing Foons and Dommies and Maelstroms. What
Because
caused
they're
the change?
cheaper.
Well, they are
They're
cheaper,
cheaper.
but
it's
So
cheaper.
not
They're
necessarily
fun.
cheaper.
They're
It's
also fun.
Yeah, the problem that
like
we were
Dust
running
better.
into is player engagement, especially because if you fly, how long has Munin's been in meta for? I mean, we have
two
to.
years,
Forever.
a year,
2
year and a-
years.
Yeah,
since
we
they,
have
since
to
they
be getting
buffed
up
them
there
that
in
one
time.
time, like
So
2 years
you're
ago, yeah.
we're finding that player burnout, like our member burnout, whenever you ping for a Munin fleet all the time, because ultimately, like if you really want to get down to it, you can find a way to make a Munin fleet work for everything. I mean,
Agree.
it's just the way it is. It's unfortunate, it sucks, but because the way Munins are, the way Sig is, all that shit, it's just you can find a way to make Munins win every scenario. However,
But at the
for
same
us-
time, the good thing with Munins is that there are a bunch of obvious counters to them. So it's not like
Well-
there's no way to get around. I mean, you can bring a Ferox fleet and you're fine. You know,
Oh,
yeah,
really?
you're going to trade poorly, but at the same time, you kill one Munin, and that's 3 or 4
The change the
fucking
battleships,
Ferox.
honestly, isn't it, Bunny? Isn't it a reaction to what you're being attacked with? Since the Imperium came with battleships, you guys are reacting with battleships, right? Isn't that kind of the deal?
So it was we were discussing it because I mean, let's be honest, I know what you guys do as soon as you announce it.
Sure.
As soon as we saw the Typhoon fits and noticed the hard change to all missile doctrines, well, I mean, we were ecstatic. We're like, fuck, dude, these guys they're not gonna apply to shit. Well, this is gonna be an easy dubs. So we started a Python warrior and everything. It turns out Typhoons actually apply super well to Munins. So I'm like, fuck, this isn't really a good idea. So we started theory crafting, and I'm like, you know what'd be really dope is if we started flying a ship that can volley for 7,000 out to 100 clicks. So
Maelstroms.
There's your Maelstroms.
so the decision was either made, we bring back old school TFIs, which I hated, always hated. I hated it whenever we did Tech Fleet and Goons. I hated it whenever we did them in Waffles. I've always hated TFIs.
Why don't you like TFIs?
Because I don't like armor battleships, honestly.
But back to my point is,
Plus,
you guys came out
armor
with the Maelstrom
triage.
fleet because we brought Typhoon.
Armor triage does suck. Yes,
Yeah, well, just armor reps in general land on the backside. of
but
the cycle.
those
In alpha
Rhenistras
meta.
are pretty good for that shit now.
I will say
So-
flying
Answer the
triage
man's
has
question.
been really fun.
Yeah, and we made rain trade fucking inject into triage.
No,
So
no,
you know what?
I already had that alt. Muck Barovian is just.
I don't
mentoring
believe
me.
you. I don't believe you.
Nope,
Rain.
that's my fax alt. So she died in Secede like 1.5 years ago. And an apostle, and I also trained her up in Galente because I wanted her to sit my Nyx in case I needed to move my Nyx
That
pile
reminds
around.
me, I need to double check my second fax alt and see how she's
So,
doing.
Bunny,
You can suck my
had the
dick, Brisk.
Imperium brought like Eagles again, you wouldn't have come up with Maelstroms, right? You would have used the same thing you've used before to counter Eagles. So
Probably.
because we brought Typhoons, you guys came up with Maelstroms. So it's that is, I mean, that's one of the reasons that you have that doctrine, right? So I can't remember what the original point was because I'm really fucked up right now. But
Heyo.
obviously, each group affects the other group.
So
What were
the
we
other
originally
the other
talking
cool
about?
thing
I
about the
remember.
Maelstroms is, with the Goon deployment, you guys are in an NPC station. There's no way I'm going to evict you from, not going to happen. I could kill
No,
all
it's
the
not- yeah, it's not
all the
possible,
dumb
yeah.
retards
Which is
that
good.
are TFQ.
Because we
and
just like fighting you. It's
Right.
fun.
So So the greatest thing about the Maelstroms is we designed a doctrine about fighting over static objectives. So the only possible things goons could do to affect us in our current deployment is hit Sov. So the first you have to jump on an iHub and sit there because now all the ADMs and fucking Tinal are 6.
But that's
Good
not
luck.
true. There's two ways we can affect you. We can hit Solve, we can hit jump bridges. Jump bridges,
Citadels,
both of those
which are
things
all
bullshit,
static
right?
objectives, which is
I
what
agree.
that
But
doctrine.
But jump bridges
Jump
are easier to hit
bridges
than
in-
TCUs.
I mean, I don't really care if you
I
hit
think we
those
have
jump
3
bridges.
jump
We
bridges.
have
But-
jump
Tino?
bridges? What the fuck? I've been fucking
They're
taking
new.
base this
Yeah,
whole
no,
time.
Yeah.
we got 3 jump bridges in Tino. 2 of them just
He's
came
not-
up like this last
he's
week.
not
I want to
talking
fight them.
about-
I want to
I'm
blow
not
them
He's
talking
up
not
about
now.
talking
Tino.
about hitting the Tinal jump bridges though. He's
Oh,
talking about the one that's 4 jumps away from them in MTO, which also
oh.
I
But
don't
it's
care about.
Has it not brought a lot of fights? A lot of fun.
I don't know. I don't fight over that system.
So I do.
Then
I'm
here's
a
my
line
problem,
member.
though.
I have a good time. It's
Here's
been
my
a lot of fun.
problem, though.
I guarantee your line members are all saying the same thing because no one's losing anything that really matters.
It has
at
been
this point.
fun.
This has just been fun.
I
I
mean,
will say
maybe
I've
not-
had
I
a
don't
shit
know.
ton of fun in the
I guess
north.
I'm on the attacking side, so it's a
As a
different-
line
I-
member,
I
as a
agree.
Bungie person,
Look.
it's a shit ton of fun.
PF TAC has been
Here's
so
to
much
the Northern
fun.
War, I guess.
Yeah, here's to the north.
King of the North.
I love the fact that we have fleets going like 24/7. I can jump up there and just fight with you guys all the time. It's fun. The only downside is, I keep getting headshot, but hey, what else?
Well,
Well,
on
downside
your
is-
point, Brisk, my kudos to you guys to the other side is it doesn't matter what time of day it is. We form a fleet, you form a fleet. It's fucking been great.
I love it.
both
It's,
sides
Here's
it's
my
nonstop
problem.
Great
content.
and
It's
responsive.
great.
here's
I
my
love
problem
it.
with the northern deployment, and hopefully I catch the ears of somebody. In 89% of the time, if I form Maelstroms, you guys run the fuck away. All I want, because the very first time we rolled out Maelstroms, we had a really good brawl on I don't care, some fucking structure that didn't matter, and that was dope. And then after that, I haven't had an actual fight of similar quality since then.
The problem
That's
with that,
my problem.
Bunny, the problem with that is if you bring equal numbers with Maelstroms,
We
we're
don't
gonna
bring
run away
equal
'cause we
numbers
can't
with
win.
Maelstroms. We
'Cause
don't.
We can't win.
Because you know what? The other reason the Maelstroms came out is because I can't pull same numbers as our Euros can. Our
No,
Euros pull
yeah.
200 man fleets.
Yeah.
Yes,
If
I agree.
I'm trying to
on
fight you
the
guys,
US side of things, so I don't
All I
see
want
those.
is to fight GEF with 55 Maelstroms. That's all. You guys fly 160 man Typhoon fleets and run the fuck away from me.
What's
Not in American
GF?
time zone. We don't.
Goon
That's their
Swarm
Goon
Federation.
sig. That's your deployment sig. In American time zone, you absolutely do it.
Not every time.
Oh.
Hold on, Redline. You here?
Not every time.
Can confirm.
Redline, are you here?
Don't.
Hey, did
Don't
you form for
bullshit,
the
dumb.
Did you form for the PFQ 4-timer tonight?
Yes, I did.
Did they form and fight you?
No one formed for anything, dude.
We
Fucking
have not
wild.
like today. I don't know what is going on today. Today
Yeah, we
has been a
haven't
weird
had
day.
anything, yeah.
We have not had pings in like the last 6 hours, which is weird. So
It's
I don't
it's
know
not
what's
weird.
going on.
Friday nights are
So
notoriously
if you're
very
watching
quiet for the Imperium.
NEFC, hello, please form. We just want to feed. We literally don't care what happens. Fucking form. Form and fight each other, please. Respond.
Jesus.
So,
I lost a fight
here's
to
the other
Mike
half.
Flood the other
No,
day.
but Friday nights for the Imperium
So mad.
are notoriously
Mike Flood's
quiet.
in chat.
It's just a
Mike,
fact.
form more fleets, dude.
He's just talking
Wait,
shit
you
though.
gotta
I
get your
mean,
mic a little closer.
so the
Please
other
form.
issue is if it was
Little bit
any other
closer.
group except for goons, right? If this was an initiative battleship deployment for some, not that you guys would ever do that because it's not a bomber, but if
We
this was
just
any
did.
other,
We just took a bed
if
out
this-
tonight.
if this
Fuck
was
off!
any other,
I died in a Balgorn, you dick.
Please
if this
fight
was
us.
any other
Fucking
alliance,
Test
right?
killed my
If
ass.
this was
Why can't
any
we
other
fire?
alliance fighting us,
Fired!
if this was any other alliance, we'd be fighting for good fights. But unfortunately, it's goons. Y'all don't want good fights against us, and I absolutely don't want good fights against you. That's just the
See,
way
I
it is.
disagree. I would
Hell
love
dunks
to
are
fight.
blue balls.
Every fight I get
It's
is
not
a good
no.
fight.
Listen,
It's
Every
not
fight
hell
is a good
dunks
shit.
or blue
good
balls
fights.
because I
Hell
fought
dunks
for
or
every
blue balls
time.
is fine with me.
What you don't want is
Asher,
fair
fight us.
fights. Big difference
Asher fought
between
us
good
once.
fights and fair fights.
Fuck that, dude. I'll take any fucking fight. I
We
would
should just
take
have, like,
any
a
fight at this
post-show,
point.
like big swinging dick fleet.
Okay,
form
right
a
now.
boat, like
Dominarch, you form a fleet. Redline, you form a
Brisk,
fleet. Let's
Brisk,
go.
yeah, Brisk, you
Build
form a
these
fleet. We'll
fleets,
form a
fight
fleet.
right
We'll
now.
go at it.
Right now.
No,
Let's go.
because Red Line
I'm not a fucking
I
FC.
won't
You
get
can
anybody
still
to
form a
follow
fleet
me.
and just
You
pick
can't,
someone
Dom.
to
I'll
run
walk
I
it.
mean, let's
all
be
my
honest.
goons
I was
Red
gonna
Line
do
has
I was gonna do a Nurgle fleet.
Make
Panda and I
Issa
were
run
working
it.
on it,
Tell
but I
Issa
never
she's
got
gonna
around
see
to
a
it.
thing.
Brisk, I'm
Yeah,
on board.
be
You do a
Issa.
Nurgle fleet. I'm with you.
We took a Nurgle fleet out, but
You guys
Pando
don't-
did
you
it
guys
after
don't
he and I
fucking,
came up with the
ping
fit.
You don't ping to us. So we
I
know
don't.
about
I
it.
should.
You gotta let me know.
We
You
do
gotta
all our
let me know
stuff
ahead of
on. I have Jabber, and that's how I
Yeah,
get
you
my
guys
things
need to
done.
have,
I
like,
don't
a-
do
Let me
it.
know ahead of time.
a
I'll
collusion
get
Discord,
I'll get
like we
Bastion
got
to
in
join
the
you on
north.
that. We'll
That
have
was
good
it.
time.
My fleet was my Nurgle fleet was no collusion Nurgles, and they were remote red Nurgles. We had them set up. It was great. It was a fun fleet. We took them out, and we had a good time. They ended up killing a fax or
So,
something.
Brisk, are you saying you were flying Logi Nurgles?
Yo, send me the fit for that. because
We have a tendency to do, and maybe I'm misremembering. I don't remember if we were remote rep Nurgles, but we do remote rep small gang fleets all the time because
I
people
fucking
don't see
love
those
it. Sign
coming
me
and they're
up.
fun.
It makes
He-
sense
and
with the
he
trig
assigned me
ships.
in
They
that
get bonus
shit.
for that.
But
Right.
honestly, from the line member side of the fight in the north, I'm having a great time.
And honestly,
I've not
that's all that
encountered
matters.
any experiences where you guys force us off the field. So I mean, I've not hit any of these fleets where we're like you guys aren't able to fight. You know what I mean?
And
So
to-
it just
I
luck
want
of the
to
draw for me, I guess.
I want to kill this whole narrative and rumor. So we dropped supers on one fight, and it was to kill that Fortizar, the Civ Squad Fortizar, and that was it. That's the
Yeah,
only.
no,
That
I've
was the
seen that
only
happen.
time I can confirm. That is the only time I've ever dropped supers into PF-Q. The only time.
I've not seen
So
it either.
the
Yeah,
more you
so-
guys want to bitch and moan, not you guys. I know the people who bitch know who they are. If you guys want to keep complaining about us using supers, I can start doing it, and y'all just won't fight no one.
no,
that's up to you.
I think they use the super excuse a lot of times when you form maelstroms, and we know we can't beat them.
Yeah, last night I formed supers. I'll be dead ass, but I didn't take them and I didn't fight you.
No, because we
I'm
won't
pretty
fight
sure
that.
most of the
I'm
time,
saying.
like both sides are forming some amount of supers
Absolutely.
every time.
There's going to be
Just in
some
case,
there's
but I
going to
don't
be
think
some
that they're ever
miscommunications. There's going to be
intended to use them.
propaganda and stuff out there. But from the line member side, and I don't know about your line members, but from this side of it, I've been having a blast. This has
I've
been
been
a
loving it.
fun
I
fight.
mean,
I am so excited. I just checked. My second Faxalt can now fly in a possum.
You want to?
Like
I mean,
perfect
And
skills.
no
Finally.
one out here doesn't.
I
like
have
fighting
two.
against
I have
Redline.
two
Redline
Faxalts
brings
now.
good fleets,
whoever.
and I like fighting against him. It's fun.
Yeah,
Well-
just I would say if you know what, and I would absolutely love to keep fighting the Typhoons against the Maelstroms. I think it's a good ass brawl. You will bleed some. Y'all will we'll just keep
We'll
killing
bleed
Maelstrom
some too?
Typhoons.
I like this.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. The
But-
sack fleet has been my favorite. I like
I
flying the
haven't seen a
sack
sack
fleet.
fleet in
that's
a
the
long
thing
time.
that-
No, we
Been a
fought that
couple
the other
days.
day. I think we fought that in that
The
G1AU
first
video.
sack
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We
You
fight
were
the
there.
sack
Yeah.
fleet.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
they
Was
were
I was-
hesitant to
Rain, I
take
was
him
in
out
that one,
again.
right?
I think we
We've only
killed, like,
done
twice.
twice.
You
You
might
might
have been. I have a video of it.
We killed like 3
to
sacrileges
check.
that I think just forgot to broadcast or broadcast too late.
That's
don't
where
wanna-
you
I
were
think
trying
we
to kill
killed
me,
2
Jordan,
guardians.
because
And
that's
that,
not
like,
right. You
like
should
the
not do that
sacrilege
again.
fleet was pretty much untouched. We killed 3 sacks and 2 guardians. I think that was it.
Drayden, if you want, I linked my YouTube and the J1AU brawl in the show notes if you want to link that. Because that has the Sack fleet, that has the Maelstrom fleet. I think that has Guardians of the Galaxy Dreads versus Pam
All I
Bam
know
Dreads and
is
Dommies
Brisk
were in
needs to
there.
be fucking targeted before me every time.
Absolutely fucking
Oh,
not.
that always happens.
Where did you put it? Ian? In the show notes?
It's
Chip?
like a rule.
Yeah, yeah. It says
Brisk
J1AU
is
It's-
plus
I
10
I was
on my
laughing
standings.
today because
I target you sometimes. I can't help it.
when it's funny because like I know certain groups. I'm NC Dot. I love you guys, Bunny. You guys are good. You don't hit me first. I like that because
I've
obviously
actually
you don't want to
never
kill me because I'm. What's the point?
I've never
I'm
actually
just a line
fight.
member.
So the only time I was
Well,
actually in an opportunity to headshot you, it was whenever we fought in it over that the Sino Jammer in 5P.
Right.
And as soon as fuck, who was FCing that? Was it?
It was
Red
me,
Knight.
dude.
Yeah,
And
as
I
soon as he
headshot
said
Brisk
shoot Brisker ball,
immediately.
I said on command comms, I'm like, he's gonna hate that. And then you died.
Exactly. Then I died,
And then I apologized profusely in local. He was
and you
gone
did, and that
already,
was okay. And I laughed
and then
because it
I
was
set you
funny.
plus 10.
You did.
That's awesome.
You
So
were still plus
so the
10
funny
to this
thing
day,
is,
sir.
so NC Dot is not. You guys don't headshot me anymore. Test always headshots me. Horde almost always
means they
headshots
like
me.
you.
It's like
That's
a
that-
rule.
That's all it means.
Well,
It
I
just
think
means they
that-
like you.
Look, I like it.
awesome.
I like it. It's funny,
Yeah.
but it's kind of become a thing
Excellent.
where if I go out with the goons, they are so excited. If I live in a fleet, it's the most amazing thing. They
No,
can't
that's
believe it.
Imperium wide.
So it
Everyone
makes me
gets
laugh.
excited
It's
about
like a
that.
funny thing. They're
But
like, holy shit, Brisk
you-
lived. This is crazy.
So-
This is a great fleet.
So, Dom, you mentioned
so I died
that
today.
you're having
Yeah.
a lot of fun fighting, but you're mostly fighting Horde, right?
Very, very true. We
No,
are
well,
mostly fighting
in it,
Horde.
no. In it mostly fights.
No, I'm not in
No,
it.
we've
Well,
been
it's
fighting
not
Test
just
more than
faction,
anybody.
so-
Yeah,
lately.
Test and then Cone some, and then because Blurkus has a hate boner for
Fucking
Darius for
Cones.
some fucking reason. I don't
Because
know
the
what-
cones keep killing me.
Oh,
They
I said
killed my
Blurkus,
widow. They
but-
killed my fucking
No, you're not
Draugr, my
wrong, Blaze.
2.5
Most of
build
my fights I've
Draugr.
been in personally have been
Fucking
against
pine
NC,
cones.
but against
But-
Horde, not NC Dot.
Yeah.
But it seems like this whole thing, if NC Dot and PL are involved, then goons are just shut off.
That's,
Well,
that's,
Except
here's
for
the
the
thing.
other night.
that's my
I'll be
problem
completely
too,
honest.
right?
As
It's
a
like
line
I-
member in these fights, I want to win. I have more fun when I'm blowing shit up.
But
I have less fun
unfortunately,
when I'm dying.
but
right?
unfortunately,
So
that's not the,
that's a
that's not the
fact.
point of view that gets pushed across. It's the same. It's the same on both sides, and dudes. But it's y'all's leadership don't want to feed us because if you feed NC, it's a morale victory for us, and if we feed you, it's a morale victory. So we get the
Sure.
same
No,
same
fair.
flack from both sides. Do not feed each other, and
Fair,
unfortunately, Horde doesn't have the same rules. But
No,
I'll
they
keep
don't.
telling you guys, whoever is in chat who keeps calling me out for not forming, I'm not gonna mid twice if you guys are gonna duck up. I'm not gonna do it because I have to
No,
go.
What? You don't
fair.
like Major Form?
That's fair.
No,
That's not a
Blaze,
thing?
that's
turns
fair.
out nobody likes.
I mean,
Meiji
that's so
form.
stupid,
God, I
right?
fucking
Yeah.
hate that shit.
Like,
I hate
you
it so
ping
bad.
fleet, you bring it out, you go for a fight, and then you don't fight. And then you say major form. What?
I would like to say for the record, thank you to Manic for the
It
Reen's
is a-
video
it-
that
it
she
is
just
a fact
posted
on fucking-
because
if it bothers
he
you
didn't
guys
use
so
crazy
much-
heavy metal in the background.
If
I
it bothers
That's
you guys
actually
so
anime
much,
music. If you
From
like
now
my
on, it's all
music in
death
the video,
metal. Brisk,
scroll
just for
down.
you.
I have
Death
the
metal
links.
for Brisk.
That is that's good anime music. I like
You
it.
should also listen to the FC voice clips. I have like them timed really, really well, and you can listen to Muck. It's like the whole time. That was like the first time I was dropping triage with PL, and so like Muck the whole time he's like, Rain, just like Psycho Red, use your cat boosters. I'm like, Muck, are you sure? He's like, yeah, you'll be fine.
This is
What
anime
are
music?
you in a Guardian or a Simi?
How do you get it to
I'm
go
in
so
a
smooth?
triage.
in a
It's in
Minakawa.
a-
Like a
I did
like a
it.
like
Oh,
an
no, no,
apostle.
no.
That's in the
I had,
All
that's
right,
a
I was gonna
half
say.
MWD.
I guess
I'm like,
it's
wait,
just
all
one
right, I see.
Slow-mo.
I see the siege now. I was like, what the fuck
Yeah.
are you in?
And then
You've got
I joined the test fleet, and so I'm keeping
active
test dudes
tank.
alive while like also shooting the bad guys on my maelstrom.
Wait, how is your screen so smooth? I was in this fight and my FPS got chunked a bit.
Dude, look, I have no idea.
because your computer
Rain
is
is
dog
awesome.
shit,
Yeah,
Rain.
my
like,
computer's
You
not
wanted it
that
dense.
bad.
Rain is
My computer's
awesome.
pretty good.
Rain,
You are
I'm gonna
not
need you.
I have
Rain,
like a- I have
it's
a-
2020. I'm gonna need you to start recording videos in 4K. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
have a-
don't
Yeah,
have a
come on,
Rain, what the hell?
I have a
literally
2080,
use
but I have
a
a
1080
760
Ti.
video card.
I have a 1080 Ti.
Like,
I got an
I have a
i7. I got
shitty video card.
Eva's on a solid state. It should run fine.
No,
Oh,
so
man.
I have a really
That's
old,
what reminded
old
me.
video card.
So the very first
Yeah,
time we
so
fought with
how-
Maelstrom
Drayden-
against
Drayden, your
Asher-
Pentium is not going to handle this.
No, I have an
Sorry.
i7.
No, I
have an
need to
i7.
upgrade.
It's like a 6700, so it's not super new, but it's a
The
nice
Commodore
7.
64 is
It's like a
obsolete.
4-core,
760.
8 thread or whatever. It's all right.
So the first time we fought Asher in the Maelstroms, I got bombed to death almost.
I had
Well,
that video too.
on
You
to
guys want
death.
to see that?
Bombed unto death.
Oh,
in, the,
that is
in our
true.
Maelstroms.
That is true.
But
I do show all brackets.
Whenever we committed the second time, we had to go back in because caps were on grid. So we went back in to either start brawl out or die with our caps because don't let homies die alone. Well, throughout the fight, I'm calling primaries for Maelstroms. DJ's in his own sub slaying fucking subcaps with Hodreds, and then I hear Bob and Itachi shout broadcasting triage over global comms, and I've honestly never had as much fun as that in my life. It was
That's pretty good.
ridiculous. Like I'd call a target, and as guns are cycling, you just hear it's like, this guy's broadcasting. Yeah, I'm repping him. I'm repping him. And it was fucking wild. And
Those are the most
Flying
fun fights, though, aren't
triage?
they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
flying triage in those fleets is absolutely great because you either catch a dude because he broadcasts it right, or he's just in a fucking pod. It's so much fun.
And both, to be honest, both sides get that opportunity. Both sides get to be opportunity to be the
I want that more. I
the dominant
want that
aggressor.
more.
Both sides get to be the one getting their ass kicked.
And Dom,
and
that's
that's
the
what makes
best. Those are the best fights. The best fights are the
Absolutely,
ones where
yes.
both sides can walk away saying, "We did good. That was fun. Let's do it again."
Yes, I agree 100%. Yeah.
U.S. time zone is the time for fun. The Euros can smug out about who won the reputation war. This is America, bitch. We fight to the death.
That's
oh,
it.
yes.
boys.
That's all I
You're
want.
100% correct.
Tell Asher, tell
America.
Mike Flood, tell whoever you want. You stay on grid, and I'll bridge in Maelstroms. And I
Mike
won't bring
Flood,
supers
I'll
because I
give Mike
haven't
Flood
yet.
Credit. He will fucking stay on. He'll stay in system and fight. I've
Asher is
had
my
a blast
spirit
with Mike
animal.
Flood's fleets. He's been great. He does not run. We've lost a lot of fleets, but that's okay because we have fun doing it.
I can tell you. Here's the thing that I will promise is I'm not gonna neuter my fleet and start bringing subcap logi because the doctrine's reliant on triage and Hodred.
Why
So
not?
And that
because-
Actually,
because
we
we form
will
half as many
subcap
dudes
your
as y'all.
triage logic
If Asher
with
does
the
not
Maelstroms
primary
makes them
logic,
very,
if
very
you guys
difficult
don't
to beat.
primary logic, we'll
We
keep
won't
bringing it.
we won't continue a fight during that because it doesn't make any sense.
Well,
for
I
us.
think it is. I think it is nice to see. I'm
I'm gonna
I don't
keep
know.
my
I'm
mails.
weirded
I love
out by
that shit too
active.
much to not
I'm
fight.
weirded out by active logic. I'm not
So
used to
you
that.
guys
I
don't
fucking
have
have a
any
blast.
caps in the
Active
PF
triage
tank or
logic.
what?
Well, it's not caps either. It's the fucking Typhoons have heavy newts on them, dog. Them.
Right.
I mean,
that's why that's part of the deal.
I also don't think I can use Tech 2 triage, so I'm not flying a fax till I get that trade up because I don't think I'll get SRP.
That's fair,
if I-
Drayden.
Drayden,
You shouldn't
It's
fly
so
What
it.
the
much
fuck?
If
I've
I
seen you
can
play
fly the
Clovers.
faxes perfectly, except I have to use Tech 1 triage.
Except
and
you
I don't
can't.
think-
You have to
I
use a
don't think
T1
I'd get Tech-
triage.
I don't think I'd get
Tech
SRP for
triage.
Tech 1
Guys,
triage.
I want to do a drink
So I'm flying the mail until I train that. Although I'll
Sure.
probably
Alright,
still
what do you
fly the mail
do,
after that
Redline?
because I like
to
the
the deceased good fights in EVE Online.
No, not anymore, dude. This is America.
Good fights in
Right,
order.
we got it.
Right
USTZ
now, we're
is
doing
fighting back.
negotiations for good fights in the U.S. time zone.
U.S. time zone, best fucking
happening.
time zone of them all.
I have
That's true.
a lot of Maelstroms left. I can't really go back to
Oh.
drones with them, so we gotta start fighting.
Okay, Bob just said SRP is approved
You
for Tech
eat
1
it.
triage. Hell yeah.
Fucking surplus Maelstroms, what you're saying?
Bunny, are you eating ranch?
No.
What was...
He already ate his pizza.
He's eating
Like,
ranch
so-
like
Don't-
he's
don't-
sticking his
I
finger in
thought-
his
I
food.
thought-
Don't
actually
encourage him
a
to
ranch
fucking eat on
bottle.
cam more.
I
Dom,
actually ate
ranch
half my
tell-
pizza and left the other half.
Tell the Goon FCs that if they DM me and tell me that they are coming, I will 100% form a fleet and
And
fight them.
John
and
Hartley.
It's
and
not
feed
enough.
There you
the
go.
entire
Asher.
fucking fleet.
It's not enough to form.
Before I
You guys
run
have to
away
stay
from
on grid
them.
when we come in.
Redline, I will do that for you.
Because the
'Cause
next time
used
I
to fly
bridge
with you
in,
a lot, and
I'm
I
telling
like
you right
flying
now,
with you.
this isn't a threat. This is a promise. The next time I bridge in Maelstroms and you guys run the fuck away, I'm not gonna do it again. That's a promise.
Here's the thing: is
Hold the
you bridge in
line.
Maelstroms, we assume facts are coming. We're going to run away. That's just a fact.
That's
No,
we,
I can't. I
have to
can't.
we
have
can't.
facts.
I'm being
we
honest.
cannot
I'm
fight.
being honest with you. That's what'll happen.
No, we have 2 to 4 faxes to rep them. All you got to do is just primary them or alpha them off the field.
I
It's not that
agree.
hard.
I'm telling you what'll happen.
It's really hard to
It's going to be the
alpha
same
and
thing every
missile
time.
doctrines.
Like you
That's
can't be
that's
like,
the reaction.
oh, they have Logi. Let's fucking
The
bail.
Maelstrom
Like what
fleet
the fuck?
is too much for us to handle.
Dom, you need a mutiny and just take the fleet
Why
over
is-
and make
why
them
is
cool.
Plex
Fuck no,
so
I'm a
cheap?
nobody at fucking Imperium. Are you
Don't
It's
matter.
like
They'll
actually
listen to you,
cheap.
Dom.
They
What
won't listen to me
happened?
at all.
What happened to Too Fat to fucking fail? And like we don't
gotta
care
realize,
about those
man.
ships.
Right?
We don't
gotta-
need. We
There's-
didn't need those
here's the
ships.
thing,
anyway.
What happened to
And you're
already
saying
replaced?
Red
you
Line,
don't
Why,
here's
use
the
why,
thing.
why can't
fight.
Plex
There
be
is
back
no
to like
fail for us
3.8
there
8
is
million.
no fail for us.
Why
in this
is it
campaign.
down to 3.3? This makes
Same.
me sad.
What's the goal for the campaign, dude? Like, you say you're up here, like, and I'm
For
not
good
saying
fights?
this
Like,
at you.
like-
I'm just saying, you say you're up here for good fights, and then you don't take good fights because you're afraid you'll
Okay,
lose.
here's the thing. What's a good fight for you?
A
good fight is
just
where I
fighting.
jump in and I brawl
Is
your
a loss
Win or
a good
battleships.
fight
lose,
for you?
man.
Is a loss
You
a
know-
good fight for you?
Yes.
Yeah,
Not
if I
every
had a
time.
good
If we gotta
fight-
shoot stuff.
I'm not gonna lie. I like to win.
Oh,
If I
I
can't
like to
win,
win
but
too,
it's
but
the cherry
part
on
of the
top.
game is
Without winning.
losing.
Winnie's a cherry on top.
You
I
can't
don't say I don't
win
have fun when I
every
lose.
time, you know?
If I go into a
Saying a
fight,
good
my
fight
thought
is
is
only a
I want
fight
to win
you
this
win.
fight. If
If
I
that's
can't,
you,
if I
get the
I won't
fuck
take a
out.
fight, I can't win for sure.
Dude, hell yeah.
If there's no chance
And
of me winning, I won't take the
every-
fight.
And every professional sports player goes out to play wanting to win, but they don't
No, no,
always
no,
win.
no,
But
no,
they
no, no,
don't
no.
just stop
Every
playing,
sports
do
player goes
they?
out to a fight expecting to win. There's a difference between expecting to win and knowing you can.
Yeah,
If
but
you
they
know
do
you
it
can't
with
win,
scouting.
I'm not
and
gonna
Can I
go
everything.
tell you
fight-
guys why
not gonna go
I will
fight,
never fight
um,
with subcap logic
Mike
again?
Tyson, because I know I can't win that fight, right? But I might fight somebody else because it's fun. But if I can't fight the best, what do? You know, just one of those things. You
I'm gonna take
fights you
that
know
shit
you
as a
can't lose.
compliment.
Pan fam can't
After
fight
take
the
it-
best. Can't
take it
fight
as a
Pan
compliment.
Fam.
You don't fight what you know you won't win. If there's no chance of winning, you don't take the fight. If there's
But
a
there is a
slight
chance
chance,
of
you might
winning.
take it.
There is a
Oh,
chance
you got
because
that?
I'm a shit
Oh, you don't got that
FC,
one?
dude.
Copyright.
Oh,
But
that
That's
fucked
not
up,
true,
right?
Red Lines. I've flown in your
You
fleets,
want
and I
some
like
fuck?
you are a
Yeah.
good FC.
Hell yeah.
People can talk shit all they want. I know I'm on the Imperium side. I liked Red Lines fleets when he was with us. They were fun, and I supported him. I was on almost all of them. But that's not, they can talk shit all they want. You're a good FC. You can't fucking, if you say you're not, that's bullshit. When it comes
no,
to
he
fights,
fed
if you come to
he
a
fed my
situation where you
Maelstroms
know
the
you
other
can't
night.
win,
Mm.
why would you stay and fight?
And
you
it-
know you
oh,
can't
well,
win.
never mind. You
There's
did
got to
get back
be a
my subs.
chance. It has to be a slight. If it's a slight chance, it has to be a chance.
Well, I mean, I get that, right? I get that, but
Brother, I'm sorry,
you,
man.
you
That's
can't
true.
say you can't
Don't
say
stroke
that
his ego.
you want to fight and then not fight. Like I get that.
No.
It's
There's a difference between fighting and going out and just get your ass kicked. I want to fight, but I have to know that there's a chance that I can win, even if
Which
it's a
there
small
is.
always
chance.
the chance.
No,
there
like,
is.
there's certain
There's-
situations there's no chance. I just pointed it out. There's no chance that I could ever beat Mike Tyson in a fight.
Well, no, I mean Mike
So I
Tyson
won't
is
take
very
that fight.
he's a very scary man.
I
You know,
won't take that
but
fight.
the difference is you guys could bring your own Mike Tyson.
But we're not gonna.
Right.
Right now, we're in a situation we're not gonna. This is what you guys got. This is what we're putting forward. We're not putting everything forward. We're putting this forward. You want to have fights with this? You got to fight what you have forward. That's the fact of life.
And I'm telling
so
you,
you're saying we need to join the Ferox train
oh,
and
that'd
just
be great.
lose
If you guys join
lose
the
hundreds
Ferox
of
train,
Feroxes on
fuck
a daily
yes.
basis.
See, that's great. Great idea.
No.
so the reason we don't fly subcap triage is because it doesn't tank. And if I get my triage volleyed off, or not my Logi rather, if I get my Logi volleyed off, I don't want to fight no more. Why?
But
Because I'm
we're-
going to bleed ships, and you're not.
No,
And I-
Spoiler, no,
and
you
I
get
can't
I don't
fight.
disagree with you, Bunny. I
You
don't.
get you
I don't
primary
disagree with you.
logi every
You
single
need to
fight.
look at all these fights the same way I'm looking at them. Why would you take a fight that you know you can't win? Doesn't make any sense for
We
you.
did.
But
And I
what
don't expect
want
you
But we
to-
did.
what
I jumped
want
on.
to
We jumped
express
on
to you-
on Mike
But
Flint's
there
fleet.
there are times when you'll
Right.
take a fight where it's marginal. I mean, nobody's going to
Marginal
try to
still
take a
means
fight
a
that's
chance.
obviously like you're just going to get volleyed. Who gives a shit? Nobody's going
So-
to do that. But
so
even then,
Don-
like I'll tell you right now, one of the things we talked about last time was the changes to the mineral stuff made it less likely that we were going to be willing to whelp a Typhoon fleet
Why are you blurry,
because
Chris?
we knew that trying to replace it would be harder than it was before.
You were blurry for a little while too.
I
but
know
it
I'm
fixed itself.
blurry now. I got to fix this. But anyway,
It's-
it's
Am I drunk or
it's
is
Oh, I thought
frustrating.
that was.
No, he's
I thought
Yeah,
that
he
was
was
the
blurry.
alcohol.
I'm really
blurry.
blurry. I got to fix it.
He's fading out.
He is.
Who
Blurry.
was it? Who's in chat? I think it was Mike Flood or someone was saying that they can volley the males off the field even with the facts. Well,
Yes.
if you can volley the
That is what
males, then why aren't you
happens.
taking the
Then why is
fights?
he
Because
not
then
fucking
if
taking
you're
the
worried about the
fight?
facts,
We have taken that fight many
If you're
times.
worried about the facts,
you
you
haven't.
can volley
I
the
know you
males. The
haven't,
facts
dude.
don't do
I've been
anything
at
until
three
you
of
bleed
them.
enough ships that
Three
you
times
can't
I've been
volley
fighting
them. Once you
Maelstrom.
stop being able to volley the
Now, do we
males, then you have to
continue to
leave.
fight? Is
All
a
right, I'm
different
not
story.
blurry anymore. You guys are not drunk now.
Oh.
Oh my god.
You
you're
are
so
so
blurry.
Wow, we just like
So
went
sober.
10 shades of sober in 3 seconds. Thanks, Chris.
No,
I fought Maelstrom 3 times. Now, granted, I've been in a lot more fleets than that. It's a small percentage where we fought Maelstroms, but we
On
have
an
fought
unrelated
them
note,
3
does
different
somebody
times.
have that
Now,
clip
they
of
may not be
Dirk
your
talking over the
Maelstroms,
This Is
Blazing.
Eve
They may
theme?
not be Northern Coalition. 'Cause I know
Somebody
that Horde
has.
is
It
copying
is
Which
them
somewhere.
one?
fits, and they do a shitty job.
You know,
at it.
that's the one where you started playing This Is Eve while he ranted about Vegas.
Freelancer
Oh,
had
I
play,
need that
play,
in my
the,
life.
play the Rain Suck My Dick Dirk thing.
So
I'm gonna kick
Dom-
you out
That
of
goes
the channel.
out the part of Eve.
Oh
like,
my
actual
God.
Eve, like,
The-
some lazy ass.
the other night
What was he even talking about?
when Mike Flood had
Nothing.
I don't
his
even
fleet out
remember.
there
He
shooting
never
that
talks
thing,
about anything. That's why it's
you
funny.
took the fight when we had triage on grid and you won.
Why?
If that doesn't,
Kind of.
what do you
No,
mean
not
kind
kind
of?
of.
We got
You
one
kicked my
objective. We
fucking
lost the other
ass.
objective.
You killed a handful of battleships and a triage. What the fuck more victory
I
do
want
you
to kill.
want?
I want to kill Redline.
Absolute victory. What are you
I
talking
haven't killed
about?
Redline in forever.
If that's what you want, then this isn't
No,
about
I'm
good
just
fights
fucking with you.
anymore.
I'm fucking with you. Come on now.
So what I mean
From,
is
from
like
my point of view, though, I'm
that
trying
should
to
create
put
a
it from
chance,
from a
right?
line member's point of view. Honestly, I go out there and fight and we lose. I don't give a shit.
Talk
go
to
to
your
fight, we
FCs
win.
because they do.
Flood,
I care a little
DM'd
bit. I care a little
Run
bit
the
more when
comms.
we win. I'm
No,
not gonna
not the
lie.
KFC
It's more
Canada.
fun. But I go
The
there
other
and I
one.
fight for a little bit and I
Oh.
lose my ship and I get fucking potted.
Hold on.
Whatever. As long as we're getting fights, that's
You know
all
the
I really
coolest
care
part about fighting your staging system is if you get potted, you're still there.
Exactly. Yeah.
My point is
Oh.
we can't if I want to continue to fight and actually fight, not just dunk you guys. I can't fight your 200 dudes with 100 and take sub capology. It'll never
Drayden,
work.
I already do.
I will feed every time, and I'm not going to take my dudes
Oh, you
out
got
and
Mike
feed
Flood
after
already?
having to mid
And
twice.
you know,
It's not
Liz,
going to happen.
I can respect that.
Okay,
I
well, I
honestly
stand
can
to it.
respect that because we won't feed to you either. You know, that's a fair thing. It is when you have two different groups that are equally.
That's the
in
thing,
skill-
Dom. You're right. It has to be at least semi. There has to be at
Drayden.
least some kind of a
Drayden, let me
chance to
post a link.
win. Otherwise, folks are
Oh,
not
yeah.
going to do it.
Just, it
except-
makes no
except real
sense
fast.
too to do that. Now, if I'm doing a roam through Losec for fun, I don't give a shit about But when it comes to shit like this, you have to have fleets that are gonna. I'm not gonna take a fleet out there.
There's a
and
difference.
fucking well
Who the
put to
fuck is
anybody,
this in
but-
chat? Hey, I don't know who you are, but you have no idea what you're talking about.
Who's
Mr.
that?
Who's shitting-
Call him
Is
out.
somebody shitting on you?
This Testament guy has no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Clearly, you have no
Shocker.
strategic brains about this. I'm not going to take all of my dudes and let you murder me. That's not a good
No,
fight.
it-
It's not fun for anybody. I will
It's
fight
fun
you
for
straight
us.
up.
Oh,
I
it's
like
fun
it.
for the
I think
winning
Tess
side
is
for a
right.
bit.
I like to kill you.
It is
We
a
got
fun
Mike
for.
Flood.
Here's the thing.
fuck.
It's fun to a
Mike
point, though.
Flood,
Even if
my
I'm kicking
boy.
your
To bed,
ass,
Mike.
It's not that great because eventually I know that it's gonna end and it's over. You know.
We need
So
an
I want
equal
to hear
representation. so
your
we
point of view. Hold on.
Goon FC now.
Mike Flood knows who he's talking about. Listen to this guy.
I want to hear what this dude's, because this dude is a I don't know, you're probably the goon equivalent of a skirmish commander, right?
Yeah, that's what I am.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh my god, your
good one.
voice
So
got
so you
deep,
fill
dude.
so you
All
fill
right.
the same
Holy
role
shit.
that Redline does. So in your position, is this a campaign where your FCs will allow quote good fights unquote?
I mean, literally, I haven't been told I can't take one. Like, literally. I mean, as far as, what's been going on, like, every chance I've had one, I think there was one chance where we might have. Oh, wait, no, Horde form turnaround. But, like, I've taken every fight I can because it's a lot of training experience. It's a lot of, hey, I can get this experience of
Mike, I got
what's
a question
going
for
on.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so honestly, in all honesty, the skirmish commander like you versus an Asher are going to be able to take different fights, correct?
Yes, but it's also a lot of with someone like Asher. Asher also has a command structure around him.
But you're
Whereas-
going to be able to take some fights that you might not win just because they want you to get experience, correct?
Yeah, I mean, like, in the end,
Only
with
the
someone
ones
like
that are
Asher, it's all up
important.
to him. It's all up to what he wants, With
It just seems like we take different fights with Mike than we would take with Asher. We go out there, we go on Rome, we stay out there until we
because
get a
Asher
fight,
brings out a
right?
different doctrine than
But
I do.
Asher's going out there
Right.
to fuck.
I
fill
like
objectives.
flying with Mike, but Asher is my spirit animal.
No, he's
No.
great. I
Asher's
love
the
flying with Asher.
hottest dude in
What I'm
the
saying is,
Imperium.
Asher goes out there. It's an objective. We're going out there to do something.
There is nobody
Mike,
better
we
at
might go
killing
out
a
there
fleet
and
on a
fucking roam
PDS
around
on
till
a
we get a
structure
fight.
than Asher.
Well, so the thing is especially with Asher, Asher has been doing the sacrileges. A sacrilege doctrine, as
Which is
you know,
awesome.
Yeah, it's
I
an
love
awesome doctrine. I love it. I've gotten some opportunities to target call with him. But one of things is it's not as cheap as say Typhoons. I've been running Typhoons out the ass because I love the ship. It's it's cheap. So if you whelp a fleet of them, it isn't going to matter. You know, that's why I've been trying to take them out. And it's also a doctrine where, you know, for example, the Maelstorms, I don't know. You know, we had a debate about this in command comps after that fight. Is someone told me to split stacks, and that was the stupidest move I made during that
No,
fight.
no, it's bad.
We split
Because
stacks and Mels.
We do.
Well,
yeah.
Mael-
Well,
look,
the difference
Maelstroms
is
are effectively
no,
a hard
way
counter to the
harder
fucking
than they
sack
do.
fleet. It's not good.
yeah, no. So
Maelstroms
we,
volley way fucking harder. Like whenever
Way
they
harder.
burn to about 130, had I not been damped to 30 fucking kilometers, whoever that carries,
That
was
fuck
Cappy.
you.
That
Damn,
was
damn,
Cappy.
damn,
Iron.
damn, damn.
Oh my god, you
Kathy
damped me
Iron?
and Tachi,
Yeah.
and we're just sitting there like, I don't know what to do anymore. This is such garbage.
And that's what's gonna happen with the Escape Bay.
No,
Fury's
wow.
coming out, damping everyone.
So, Mike, I have to tell you, dude. There's no I can't over here, man. On this side, you know, I can do whatever I want.
I mean, legitimately, I don't think. I mean, this whole conflict, and I've, you know, even today.
Well,
we're
wait,
kinda
if
like,
Mike whelps the fleet, he's going to get kicked out of goons, right? Isn't that what
no,
happened?
Pretty much,
that
yeah.
will never happen because I've whelped fleets before and not gotten shit. Actually, you know, the big thing why we chose something like a Typhoon Doctrine is it's cheap. So if someone goes
That's
around
why we do it.
whelps them, it's not a super big loss. It's he lost a cheap fleet of Typhoons that the Alliance can
But-
easily SIP.
Now, the only downside is with
But-
the mineral changes, it's harder to replace it. So it's just a pain in the
True.
ass to do that.
I
You
mean,
which
do
is why we're
catch
trying not to
shit
do them.
in the Skirmish Commander channel, don't you?
No, I haven't
Bullshit.
gotten any. That
It-
No,
no,
it's
not
literally, it's
bullshit.
literally
Look,
just you, right?
That's the joke. Look, if the goons kicked out every FC that whelped a fleet, there'd be no fucking FCs left. Everybody's
I mean,
whelped
for
a
a
fleet.
while there
Who
wasn't.
gives a shit?
Red,
For a
it's
while
not
there
a big
wasn't.
deal too.
What's up?
Whelping
What's
a
up?
fleet
What
just
happened?
I mean,
happens.
boats still
When
in
you get this
goons,
many
right?
people,
Come
it
on.
happens.
Yeah, but
Yeah, no
Boat
water.
can't do the same thing he did
I
before.
haven't seen or heard from Boat in a long time.
My point is
Been
the
working.
fights
I
that you
hope
can
he's
take as a
okay.
skirmish
Saw me the other
commander
day.
is, I mean, yeah, cool. You may fight every time, but you don't form every time, which is the problem. You may fight us. Asher does not.
That's fair.
He's told me straight up that he won't fight me with facts, which is wild, honestly.
Yeah,
'Cause
because
you-
your facts doesn't mean
I just
shit,
want to kill your
because-
faxes. Can we kill
But,
your
No,
but
but
don't
the
faxes?
you,
thing is
don't
the
you look at
fact-
it this way?
Why
Asher's
not
in a
put
different
facts in the
position.
Foon fleets then?
He's high enough up to where he can't lose because of a simple ship. You know,
Sure,
I
you
can see both sides. I
He
understand
can
your side,
absolutely
Blazy.
lose.
You guys
lost
you put
to
out said,
WH Tech J.
fleet you want to fight. I can understand our side too, though. We're not going to fight something we know we can't possibly
But-
win.
So here's a question from
Yeah,
a
but you
line
can
member then.
possibly win.
Here's
So,
a question
yeah,
from a
no,
line
But
member.
we're
we
looking
can-
at it as
if-
we can't.
If us using battleships with facts for Logi is an issue, and you
But-
guys are using
but the
battleships, why
facts-
would
the
you guys use
entire-
facts for Logi?
You're missing, you and chat are missing the entire point of
I don't-
us using facts. We have half the dudes you do.
Yes, exactly.
even
I
that-
understand that.
look,
No, what
it
I'm
doesn't
saying
matter.
is the
Look,
facts doesn't mean shit
look,
because
Yes,
we're gonna
you
out
say that.
We're just gonna alpha
Triage
you
Logi
anyways.
is a standard thing in battleship fleets. It has been forever. So I don't know why anybody's bitching about it. It's just
No,
it's
no,
what it
shit,
is.
I'm not bitter, I'm
No,
just
the
saying.
more
Kill
thing
the
I-
facts first.
So the whole thing during that fight is we were like, okay, well, you know, the big thing why we were so far out was
I mean,
Well,
who
what
gives
if-
a
what
shit
if-
if you drop a couple dreads to kill a fucking triage? Jesus.
no. We were
Well-
we were thinking they were gonna drop their Hodreds, so we pulled range on them, whatever.
And we were going to. Honestly.
Yeah, I know you were going to.
No, we
but
weren't.
I was so surprised when you
It's-
did it.
Do we have Hodreds?
Want to know?
We do.
We do.
I have them too.
It's
I
part
think.
of the Maelstrom.
I wish
The,
I had
event-
one,
the
I didn't know.
Maelstrom combat doctrine is to. So we basically kind of made a mini wrecking ball. If any of you were around for that,
Yeah,
I was
know.
gonna
I
drop
know.
Hodreds
It's
on you,
ba-
Mike.
I
will.
was so
I will
surprised
absolutely
when you
drop
did.
hot dreads on you.
I mean, it didn't. I was like, okay, whatever. I lose a bunch of Typhoons,
I have
whatever.
a Phoenix
like,
somewhere.
Because if
I
you
would-
lose 50 typhoons, you know what you still have? 70 goddamn typhoons.
yeah, and you know, a lot of this has been like, okay, well, you know, I think the second time that I actually went on a fleet during this whole conflict was when when the horde dropped caps, but then still it was the HD tack thing.
Yeah.
People, you know, the biggest thing is this capital thing, and I personally, you know, there's some stuff that I don't agree with, but it's the whole, okay, well, if you have a bunch of caps that are over your head, and I know at one point someone we were reffing some structure, and someone goes, yeah, Horde has 70 caps formed. Mind you, I'm thinking Pandemic Horde has 70 caps in the first place in that area at the time zone it was. At the time zone it was like the stupid time zone where you can't get people in your fleet. But we still did our thing, and Horde supposedly formed and then turned around. So that's what I don't understand. It was like, okay, well, I'm ready for a fight. If they drop caps, I just MJD off into every other direction, and I'm off the grid and out the system.
But the best part about Horde is that they don't give a shit. They'll drop your shit no matter what. That's
Which
why
is
I
a
like
problem.
those guys.
And
I
Blaze
love
brought
them.
up that earlier. A lot of our fights are against Horde because of that reason.
Because they won't stop.
Because
They'll
you
fight
guys
no matter what. They
coming,
don't give a
right?
shit.
And
They'll
that's-
No,
feed us
because
as
you
long
guys
as you
fight
can.
like it.
Horde because they're fighting something you could kill easily, right?
But we're not going out there
Yeah, I was
to
actually
only
'Cause you
fight
guys will
for
fight-
Horde.
yeah.
That's never happened. We're never going out there only to fight Horde. It's just the fact that the matter is they will take the fight
They-
more often than not.
The
It's
only
because-
two alliances that I have ever seen
Wait.
that will feed
Obi.
over and fucking over are
I'm
Horde
Obi.
and Brave, and that's it.
Brisk.
Want some fun?
Shots.
Shots.
Oh, we do shots? Sorry.
You want some fuck?
There we
What
go,
are
that's a
shots
better
for?
one.
What are we doing for?
Sorry,
Did I
Dom. I,
hear
did,
you?
I was just doing a shot. I didn't know you were doing shots. Sorry.
Guys, I would
Did
like
I-
to.
Was there a reason?
I know,
or
I know
just-
we're
just
almost
because
at
we
the
like
end of the
alcohol?
show. We're
It's
almost at
11
the end of the
o'clock,
show.
So it is the end of the show.
I would like to say, for the record, I love you guys. We had an all Eve show tonight.
Chris,
Imagine
We
we
did
love
not
you
talk
too.
about anything that was not Eve
And
I
we
love
still
you
have more to
all.
the
say.
Okay.
That's the other
entire
thing. We're not even.
show.
We
We covered it
we
all,
could go
yeah,
on like another
exactly.
30 minutes, I'm sure.
We had 2 solid hours of just Eve, including a bunch of shit
And if you
about
look, Brisk, we have some
fights and
FCs
stuff.
Well,
who know what they're
granted
talking
that we did
about.
talk
You
about
can suck their
phasers
Right.
dicks, okay?
We have
phasers
fun.
and
Exactly.
molecule kits for about
Tonight,
10
right?
minutes.
That's what
So
it's about.
there's that.
I just-
I am so proud of us tonight. This
If
was
we
a
have-
great show.
I want
I'm
to
so
So
proud.
I'm
of this.
assuming
Chris,
you're
can I have
bringing
a
this
hug?
up because we're going to transition after show soon.
Well, we got to
So-
go to the after show
Well,
now.
well,
It's
so-
11 o'clock.
Wait, hold
So
on.
before
we,
we
we
do-
can we can honestly go another 10-20 minutes if we need to, because this is a chill Eve conversation, so this is not like ridiculous over the top drunk rambling, so it's okay
Right.
because there's no one after, so we can go over
I'm
time if
very
we're being
drunk. Oh, is that-
responsible and on
All right.
and on topic.
Look,
so.
I'm just
Is that
happy.
the criteria for going over? We have
We have to talk about Eve?
If we're not drunk, we can
Basically,
go.
yeah.
I mean, we're
basically,
not drunk and we're
usually
talking about
don't
do
Eve.
streams after
This
us. and it
is
doesn't matter.
CNN breaking news.
Right. We usually
We're
like to cut
talking about
on-
Eve.
Yeah, if we're drunk and being ridiculous and getting loud and stupid, then we like to cut. I like to cut.
Drayden, you
but
can
if
suck
we're-
my dick.
Well, I can tell you
I'm
right
loud
now
and
that
stupid.
obviously
Yeah, but I mean, if we're keeping on topic and it's an Eve and it's
And
a
I
nice,
love
legitimate
Ray.
conversation, I have no problem going over time. No
Well,
problem.
let's
No
go back to
problem.
the topic because
and obviously Dirk is
I'll
not here
clarify
and
something.
we're still talking about Eve, so
What's
my
up,
wife is
Redline?
probably passed out because otherwise she'd be happy.
I
That's,
swore
that makes sense,
I
Chris. That makes total
swore
sense.
She just wants
But
to
I
hear
just
Dirk
heard
talk and ramble. That's
Dominart
what she likes.
say
He
that
is
the
best at
reason that they fight Horde is because they take the fights more often. Is that?
You do realize that we
Did
have
you
to
say that?
mid to get in a
But they
range,
do.
right?
We love Horde.
Well, no, the
How is
thing-
that-
Look,
They
how
live
is
in the
that-
same
I-
system.
look,
honestly,
I'll
Redline,
tell you.
How is that not
The
true?
two groups that
We
I love
fight them
more than
more
anybody else on
because
the
they
other
take the
side
fight
of the
more
aisle
often.
from me, I love Brave and I love Horde because
Yes,
they got
I
heart.
agree, Brisk.
They will fight. They don't give a shit. And you know what?
Fuck yes.
The old Stalin quote of, numbers have a quantity has a quality all its own. Those they keep coming and they don't stop. I love that.
I
shit.
think Britt. I think
love
Bunny
those
agrees
fucking
with
guys.
us because I've been in fucking Bunny. You and I were in Red versus Blue at the same time. I don't know if you realize that or not. We were in Red versus Blue at the same time. We were both in Black Legions at the same
twirling
time.
Obi.
God,
I
that was
know that
so
you like
long
to just
ago.
fight.
So fucking long ago.
What's it called? No, and here's
don't
one thing I
even-
will.
I don't even want to think about fucking any EFCing I did in Red versus Blue right now. That must have been so garbage.
It was what? It was like 8 years ago. We had a fucking good time though, did we not?
Yeah. I mean, we lived like 2 systems from each other, Red and Blue, but whatever.
It was a good time. I liked it.
Whoever was talking, you can go ahead. I'm sorry.
So one thing I will say is, and like the whole thing of is, I've had like on 2 occasions where it's like one occasion so far where I've actually had an NC form and actually like I didn't expect Redline to even take the flight. I didn't realize, I didn't think you were gonna Red because you had lower numbers and I only saw 1 triage and that is still mind-boggling to me. Is only 1 triage. You didn't have a backup triage. That
There's a story behind that.
We're not
Did your
going to
back-
tell it though.
It wasn't
backup
me.
Tell it.
got bumped?
It wasn't
No,
me either.
we're not.
All right.
We
so,
wanted to
so Scott
try with 1.
Okay.
Scottish in the chat is saying that Brave runs. I'll tell you. Look.
No, they don't.
They ran the Vino.
We've gone into GE Tech. I have spent so much time in GE Tech as like a second staging to me. Those guys will come at you so much. We took a fight in Brave Space in it. We ended up wormholing.
God,
into
I have so many
someone's space.
notifications. Jesus Christ.
Those guys fed and kept coming and kept coming and kept coming until literally They ran out of ships to come. They
Brisk,
could not
you
come
are
anymore
100%
back at us.
correct. They
I love
fucking-
those guys.
I do
They
too.
are fucking hardcore.
GE and VR or V3 Tech are my two highest areas of fights because they always come at you. They always give you a fight, and they don't fucking
like,
care. They're the best. I love them.
You know that we can't do that, right?
What do
Of
you mean?
course not.
Well, obviously, you guys are
Obviously.
deployed
This
like
is
we
small-
are. You
this-
don't
the
have
small
unlimited
gang stuff is way
resources.
different
Well,
than
no,
big,
it's not
huge
that.
street
It's the
fights.
fact that we
way
have to
different
go
thing. They're
2
completely
jumps
opposite.
to get there.
Well, that doesn't. I'm
I
not,
like
obviously,
you
we're not
too,
hitting you
Mike,
guys
so,
in
I
your
mean,
staging.
I like
so.
fighting against you. It's fun.
God, I wish
But
you would.
look, I'll tell you, the PF Tech fights have been fun. Like that shit is
Yeah, it's been a
fun
blast. Yes.
because we
Just-
both have stagings in that area. So
I
we
issue
can keep coming at each
everybody a challenge, and it's that if we're going to continue, I can tell you for a fact we're going to continue using Maelstroms, but unfortunately for y'all, we're going to continue using Triage. I challenge you to push to your FCs
Well, we got to
to
get some
find a
dreads up
way
there then.
to find a way to counter our Triage.
I gotta
will
believe,
take-
I
I will
gotta
take
believe that
the
Mike
fight.
Flood
I will
and
take
Asher
the fight
and
no
those guys
matter
are
what.
working
It
towards
just
that
all
now.
all
As
it
a
requires
triage
is
pilot,
But I
we
can
use
tell
all
you,
it
dude,
requires is
fucking
us moving
newbie.
some dreads into fucking PF, and then
No,
we're
no,
fine.
no.
No,
Our
all it requires
FCs
is
are so smart.
160
They're
heavy
gonna come up with a
newts.
way to do it. I believe in you, Mike.
Hold
I'm
up.
on your- I'm on
we
your
we
side,
can
man.
already alpha them. I mean, that's what I don't get is people making the big deal about the
This
fucking
is-
triage. It's like
this
if
is,
alpha
but it's
the
not us
motherfucking
making the big
Maelstrom.
deal. It's your FCs.
I don't know who's making a big. I don't know who's
Asher.
making a.
Mike, you are the
I will
FC
follow
now.
Asher blindly. He's
Now-
amazing.
Now
He's
look,
the best.
now to Bunny's point, I have not heard Asher bitch about the triage.
So after we
Neither
fought,
have I.
No, he doesn't bitch
after
about
we
it,
fought in
but he
PF Dash,
smartly
I
doesn't
PM'd
take
him. I'm
those
like, yo, that was fun as
There's
fuck.
nothing wrong with that.
We need to do it again.
But I
And
agree
he's
with you,
like,
Blazing.
yeah, that'll
We
be
need
the
to come up
last
with a
time
way
I
to
fight under your
engage it and
triage.
take it
When
out.
when
I think
when
they'll
did
do
this
it. They'll do it. Our
when
guys
was
are
this
good.
conversation?
Hold on, I'll drop the logs.
Okay, wait. What
I'll
doctrine was
talk
he in?
because
now?
I will harass him tomorrow about
Leaks.
it.
Bob, post that to me or ask Drayden. Drayden,
Or,
can you let Bob
hold
get
on,
it?
hold on, Bob. It's only a 10-second timeout. Oh Jesus!
I'll pull it up. I'll pull
Okay.
it up.
I've been
Alright, Bob,
I've been
hold on.
drinking enough now that I'm getting loud, so I apologize.
All right, there you go,
No,
Bob. You should
see,
be able to
look,
post
the
now.
typhoons killed the triage. So what's
Post,
the
Bob,
issue?
post.
Yeah, because those fucking newts suck. Bob was
Yeah,
doing
they do.
a great job at
That's
tanking,
why
and then
we-
all of a
that's why
sudden
we
he
have
was
them.
not.
I like them.
All right, you probably got 30 seconds now to post, Bob.
When did
There you go.
I
I already
did,
posted it.
Sorry.
Hey,
Alright.
when did we fight you guys and I got bombed?
The
What day
Brisker
was that?
Ball link is the Bob
Was
link.
that-
This
Was
is
that
Alpha.
was that Wednesday?
Might
No,
have
this
been
was a
couple
while.
days
This is a
ago,
couple
right?
weeks ago. I just don't remember what.
All right, I don't remember then what it was.
So-
So
never mind, I found it.
here's my
These
question. Was
fights are
Asher,
they're blending together because there's been so
Yeah.
many of them over the last.
was
2 weeks.
Asher in Foons or was he in Sax?
He's in Foons. No, they were Foons.
Really?
Then I wasn't on that.
Where do you
fleet,
want me to?
'cause
I
haven't
have
done a
I have
Foon
the
fleet in
the
a while.
raw chat log straight out of my. I mean, don't be wrong, and everybody can claim this is doctored, but unfortunately, I still have the thing that says enable chat logging on my client, so I have chat logs that go back all the way to 2017.
I never turned that shit on.
2015. 2015.
It's been up there for a while. So anybody who wants these logs, I can copy paste a chunk of it if you want. Whatever will make you realize. And don't be wrong, I usually have a strict policy about whatever you PM me in private stays in confidence. Me and Sort, whatever he PMs me, I don't leak it. But
That's-
in this
that's good.
case, like, yeah, I mean, I feel like you need to know since you're so confused about why this is happening. This information for you.
I don't
But
think anybody's
However
think
you want me to
anybody's
send this,
actually
you tell me.
confused.
I want me to
I think
paste spin
people
it.
are
I'll
saying
paste spin it.
shit because they'll talk shit. It's fair from both sides of the fucking point. It makes sense on both sides of the point.
Because like if you're serious, if you have typhoons, the typhoons have enough alpha to physically alpha males off the grid. So unless he had shit typhoon numbers, which it's Asher, so I doubt he did. So I don't know.
Here, I'll put this as unlisted and drop it into. I figure out how to
You're
unlist a paste bin. Hail! Oh, there it is. I found it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, personally, I've been trying to
Mike,
take
I
as many
love you,
fights as-
man. You're a good FC. Red
Yeah, I've been
Line,
trying.
you're also
yeah.
a good FC.
Hold on,
Love you,
I'll
Thank
Mike.
you, Mike.
Bunny,
Thanks
Stop
for joining
I've
us.
lying.
been in fleets with you.
I
but
give you
are the
permissions,
FC,
but you have a
so-
minute. You could post it in just direct to chat if you want.
I've been trying to get as many fights as I can in this conflict because, like, it's not like they care if anyone takes a fight. Where in past wars, it's kind of been like, yeah, you gotta, actually, I've only had like one situation where it was like a fight I could have won, but I gotten told, wait a minute, and just wait a minute for Baltex. But
So that's,
thing- the
that,
thing
that
with
is the raw
Imperium,
paste bin out
We
of
have a
my
lot of
logs.
FCs. Some of them no one knows about because they're up and coming. So
You
you have
guys are
different
so
levels
cute
of
together.
actually you have different levels of fun, right? Mike Flood is on the level of join his fleet. They're fun. You have other people you join the fleet because they suck. Asher is on the level of you join his fleet because you fucking have to. Not have to, but you should. But Mike Flood is still in that fucking a group of I enjoy his fleets. Redline before he left us was in that same group. His fleets were fun. He's a good FC. So if you depend on what side you're on, those two guys, they're fun to fucking join. They're fun fleets to have, and I support both of them. They do a good job.
Yeah, it was. I mean, one of the things.
Thanks for making the game better.
You're welcome. No, it was one of the things, man, where it's like, I'm happy that that I'm getting fights, and I'm not just getting, NZ's not being as much of a dick as Horde is. Whenever we whip out Typhoons, their Horde's just forming 70 carriers, and I was like, one. You have enough numbers to take this normally. Horde's just going big dick trying to do that. It's whatever. I don't care. I mean, they tried dropping carriers the other day and then got dicked on because they tried something stupid. But
I laughed. That was a good video. I like that video a lot.
In answer to Brother Bob on comms, Dave Archer's fleets are the same as Mike Flood's. They're fun. He's a good FC. He's a good time to be around.
Yeah, no. When that happened, I was calling targets for the Foons, and
everybody PM Redline and ask if he's actually Dave Archer. Everybody needs to do that. Ask Redline, are you Dave Archer? Question mark.
Stop.
Are you?
I won't lie about it. When Redline was on our side, I joined every fleet I saw from him because he's a good FC. He's fun to have around. So if you're on the other side, and you see Redline ping for a fleet, you need to join him because he's a good FC. I mean, rephrase that. He's a great FC. He's fun to have around. He brings good fights. I'm not going to deny that.
Mike, I hope that you read that chat log and realize that what happens whenever you make strat. And if you do stay around long enough to make strat, then don't make the same mistakes as the people I like to call them Eve boomers, the people who live in the quote Great War era and continuously dredge that dumb shit up.
You mean Dirk?
Eve boomers, whoever bitch is like, we have to fight, we have to fucking murder.
Dirk's not here, so we can say Dirk, but he means
Band
Dirk.
of Brothers, and they tried to kill us in Syndicate in 2006.
But they planned everything at the Bob barbecue.
Yeah, I was 3 years old.
Which I've never been invited to, by the way.
Yeah, I've never been to the Bob barbecue either.
I thought we did in Vegas.
Let's do
the Horde.
All we do is we sit at the bar at Goons and watch basketball and drink.
We should do.
Bruce can fly out there. Drake can fly out to Minneapolis. Easy to get there. The Bunny can drive over. Great place to do it. Minneapolis. Let's do it.
What about?
Are you guys going? Who's going to FanFest?
What about NOLA?
Yeah, are you going to?
Can we just go to
Bunny's going to FanFest.
I'm going to
FanFest.
But I don't will make it to FanFest.
I have to get my flight. I got my room though.
Bunny is going to FanFest and NOLA, and then Bunny is also running for the CSM. So then it heavily depends on whether or not I make it.
I can't wait.
Good luck.
I can't wait until Bunny and I are on the CSM together.
Oh yeah, I saw your fucking. It's like the old
of course,
Thomas Jefferson thing where he's like standing on the hood of a fucking Mercury Cougar and strangling an alligator poster. Yo, have somebody make one of those of me, please, like because those are dope.
Yeah.
Let me find that. I gotta find that pic.
So
that
Bunny,
one is fantastic.
Bunny, you're gonna be NC
Drake
Dot's
and I will hug each other
prime candidate
in
this year,
fucking
right?
support of both Bunny and Brisk.
You better be. I would be disappointed if you're not.
Guys, please, can we stop? Can we stop talking about Blazing Bunny in the CSM? Because every time somebody says it in the same sentence, I have to chug a beer.
Blazing Bunny for CSM though, Redline is wrong.
So when the CSM, when is the CSM elections coming up? That's this spring, right?
It's
all right. So here's the thing. All right. So here's the deal. The summit, I think, is the first week in March. We'll find out after that when the next elections are.
So campaigns are coming up.
Bunny is obviously running. I am going to run again. Yes.
Oh shit.
So
Brisk is
this was.
Brisk, you should take hit up Mitten since you're on the same show as him now. Take a nominate
Well,
spot. Because word on the street is he's not running again.
Who?
What's our platform?
Really, I hadn't heard that.
So all right. So I've talked to.
We're
I'm working out my deals. I've talked to everybody. Sword has already said I'm the dead co-candidate. We're gonna figure some stuff out. But in the end, it's like.
I represent the average
after everything that after having won before and everything that's happened to me since, if I can't win this time,
you represent the average Janet.
I'm fucking awful.
I would agree, bro.
I better fucking win this time. It'll be bad. But I am gonna run again because you know what? At least I have another year of stuff I want to do, and frankly, my big issue is gonna basically just be communicate with the players. And communicate with the CSM.
I'm gonna make him a T-shirt that says "Do the patch notes" in Comic Sans.
Yes, please. Can you do the fucking patch notes?
That's
Please.
I
No,
sent out.
in
That's
all
it.
honesty,
So true story,
on the
right? I
Imperium
work in
side,
a I work
I
in
can
a
support Brisk, I can
defense
support
firm
Bunny. Both
for
of you guys are good.
for counterintelligence. I work in this
Oh.
huge firm, and I sent out a company-wide email by accident because I was only supposed to send it to somebody in my office in Comic Sans today, and I
There
couldn't
you go.
recall it.
Dude,
That's
can
fantastic.
I just
stuff.
say,
Oh no.
Dominark, you are too fucking nice, dude. I fucking love you, man.
This is in
He's
Bastion.
from Iowa.
I am nice.
He's from Iowa.
Dom's
He's
a
the
good
greatest
dude.
human ever.
I've known Dom for fuck. How long have we known each other?
It's been about
Shots.
8 years now, right?
It's
Like-
around there. Like,
like-
as long as I've played
Yeah,
Eve.
shots for Dom, dude. Shots for
Mhm.
Dom.
Well, as soon as
I
I,
just-
joined Imperium,
I've
as soon as I
got-
joined Imperium, so it's probably like set.
No, but here's the thing:
God damn
don't
it.
ever go back and look up
Shots for
fucking
them.
Clue Space Nerds because you'll no longer like me.
I have enough
don't
ego
judge.
boost from Dom's compliments to play E for another 6 months.
I love
Hey,
that
maybe
you're
you
drinking
can
out of
There
a
you
hopefully
go.
flask.
start
I
up
like that
scene
you
for
drink out of a
actually
flask
6
for the
months.
show, too. That's
Bunny, I'm back, dude.
Are you actually?
I'm back, dude.
I'm glad. See,
I'll
I
lodge
feel
you
so
for
much
you,
better
Redline,
about
just
myself
ping
now.
me.
I just think it's
I mean,
funny
I'll
that
watch
that
it for you, Dave
CCP has
Archer.
managed to run CSM elections okay for the last 3 years, but Iowa can't do their caucuses. Sorry, Ray.
Hey,
Bernie
Brisk,
number one.
think, I
God
need you to
damn.
realize
What
though.
the hell?
I
He
need you
has
to
it. They're
realize-
recounting.
I
You
need
don't
you to
know.
realize, no
Bernie
matter how
Pete
bad
won.
Iowa caucuses
It's
are, you
fucking
know what's going to
ridiculous,
be
isn't it?
worse?
Mayor
Whenever,
Pete won.
whenever Florida votes in a primary election.
Hanging
Yeah.
All
Chad.
right, so Florida votes on March 17th, and I know that because I'm going to be in Florida for those elections, but I'm also there the week before for an
Rigging the
AFL-CIO
boxes.
I can tell you for a
presidential
fact
forum we're doing on
that
March
we're going
12th.
to fuck it up. My
Bunny,
state
where
fucks
are you
up.
in Florida?
You're not from Florida.
I'm not
You're
in.
from Florida.
I'm from Florida. I'm a native.
you from
Oh, dude,
Florida?
I'm so
Okay.
sorry.
Why you know to go
I
to
will,
that?
I will be
You're
in
like at, like,
Orlando.
negative
I will be in
3.4.
Orlando
When
the
did you
week
leave
of
Florida?
March.
You should
whatever the
go.
12th
Have you ever?
is.
You've been to the Kennedy Space Center, right?
Oh yeah.
Kennedy
So you're-
Kennedy
so you're
Space
on the
Center
coast.
is
I've been
the
to
best
Daytona.
tourist attraction in Florida. Fight me.
I'm going to go
I
to
agree.
it when they. I want to go to the first
Although I will
SLS
say-
launch, so I think that's either
I-
later this
I
year
am
or
a
next year. I think it's
fan-
next year. I'm going to fly there. And
I
go
am a
watch
fan
it.
of the Breakers. I love Palm Beach. I'll spend any time I can in Palm Beach.
That's because you're a boomer, Brisk. Florida's for
What are
old
you talking
people.
about? It's a great hotel. Come on,
Florida is
Rain.
for old people.
No,
By
it's
the
not.
way,
No, it's not.
if
Red
There's
Line
a
was
bar. Rain, you would love this.
Red
The
Line was
bar,
it link me that
Yes,
Florida
the
video.
the Ocean Bar at the
Burns
Breakers
At Tampa is literally the best.
has the bar
Tampa
is a
is-
fish tank. There are fish in the bar.
Tampa strip club
Tampa,
capital. of
You
the
sit
world,
there
look at
best
that
city
bird.
and you can
It's
watch
the
the
best.
fishes
Take
Don't
a
ask me.
under your
picture.
glasses.
Every
It's
day.
The best
amazing.
time in the
What
world
kind of fish?
is Wednesday night of Ragbri. You
Oh,
drop
it's
a hit
DJ,
acid and have a
DJ
fucking great
linked
ass
it.
time.
Mike, are you in
Yeah.
another Discord that I might be in?
The Breakers
Fucking
is the
Dave
best
Chappelle
hotel
right
in
in?
America. I love it.
I'm gonna link. I'm gonna link.
I'm in the INN Discord.
All right.
Okay, hold on,
Oh,
I'll
cool.
find it.
This is something DJ
Just
Eldar
DM me, dude.
linked me. I think it was 2
Next
weeks
time
ago.
you want to
maybe,
fight,
but-
just send me
Wait,
with a
why don't we
DM.
have a Florida meetup?
I want to
We
do
could.
Tampa
I'm down there
so
enough. My
goddamn
in-laws
bad.
live in Florida.
They-
Bunny,
they have-
organize
they have-
a
Tampa is the
Florida
best
meetup,
city in
I'll
Florida.
fucking
I think
go.
No,
they
there,
have-
there is a
don't they
meet-
have
they
Florida
do a meetup
meetups?
in
Like-
Miami.
Bush
I like
There's a Miami
Tampa.
meetup.
You
Tampa's a
guys-
good
Look
town.
it up. There's
You
a
guys
Miami
pick
group.
you guys pick the date, and I'll take you to the best places.
There's a
in Tampa.
Miami
I lived there
group that
for
has
We're going to
meetup.
Burns.
12
Have you been
years.
to Burns?
I think
No,
they
no, no.
have
you
some
been to
Florida
Burns?
meetups. Don't
Now I
don't-
will say the
Doesn't
last
Elise and Sindel
I have not
and
been to
Baggy
Tampa in
and
like
those guys
8
do-
years.
Sindel
Now
Pellion used to do a
live-
meetup,
They live
didn't
near
she?
Jacksonville,
Yep.
I thought.
Yeah.
Sindel
the last
Pellion
the last
and,
time
Fowler
I-
from
I
I
PL.
come I'm in Jacksonville almost every year. I was at
Why the
Tampa.
fuck
The
don't
last
you
time I
have
was
a
in Tampa,
Sindel?
You need to come
my
to
family
fucking
my family is in Mount
Minnesota, Brisk.
Dora,
What
which
the
is
hell?
like 45 minutes north
I've
of
never been
Orlando.
to. Well, I can't say I've never
The
been.
best
We're there
meetup
all
I've
the
been to
time.
Miami
Fucking
once
March
for a
14th
cruise, but I
in
didn't
Iowa.
Last time I
Iowa.
was
Second
last
year.
time I was in Tampa
Rain
was
and
for the
I'll be there.
Republican National Convention in 2012.
Yeah.
That was the last time
Wait,
I was
where
in
were
Tampa.
we?
What about like Eve Chicago?
Fuck that.
Yeah,
I ain't
let's
trying to
do
get
Years
shot.
ago, Test Alliance used to do a meetup in Chicago. It was
Chest
called Testival.
Alliance.
It was
Test
a fucking
Alliance.
great time. They did a
If
great
I
job.
ever make my own
of-
alliance, that's gonna be
of
the name.
organizing
Chest
it.
Alliance.
I would love to see them do
Test
this.
Alliance.
Test
Chest
did a
Alliance,
great
please
job.
ignore.
Instead of
Testival was was a
instead
lot
of the middle
fun.
management dyno, it's gonna just be 2 pecs.
That's
Yeah.
hot.
See, at one point I
That is
decided
hot.
that
I
was
got
gonna...
fucked up and got lost, but that's okay because it's okay.
You
It
guys
happens
pick
to me.
any date you want to do a Tampa Bay
I go
meetup,
to
and I swear
Amelia
to God, I'll
Island
be there.
like every
Thursday
May.
through Sunday,
and-
easy. That's where flights fly out of Cedar Rapids. So.
I
Cedar
will
Rapids,
absolutely
Iowa is
go.
a place to fucking go.
I love Tampa. I
Well,
work-
who-
I
Yeah,
work
so I
in
get to
Tampa, so-
go to Jacksonville. So we do a lot of shipping. out of
last year
Do
was
it.
my-
Who
We
will
can
be
hang out with
who will be
Elise,
the
we can hang out
Florida
with
man though?
Sindel.
Last
Me.
year's my year.
I
was
am the Florida man.
Disney
or not
fucking-
exception.
Bunny
I live-
is the
Yeah.
Florida
So,
man.
True story, right? Whenever I lived in Florida, is right after I got kicked out of school. It was I moved to Key West and worked on a fishing boat, and I was homeless for like
there you go.
6 or
Why'd
7
you
months.
kick out
You
of
weren't
school?
homeless if you had
Why
a
did I
vote.
get kicked out of
We're
school?
going too
Because it
far.
turns
You're
out
going
if you
too
don't
fast
go
in
to
the
class,
story.
you lose your
Why'd you
scholarship.
kick out of school?
Dude, you
Oops.
don't, Bonnie, you don't look like a
Yeah,
homeless
I
man.
hear that.
I was for real homeless for 6 or 7 months while
I
worked
was
on
on
a
the
fishing boat.
6-year plan in college.
Did
'cause
you
I didn't
have
go
a
to class,
beard?
So I feel you.
Like
No.
Elby's?
No, I've never been able to grow a beard.
Elby, you don't have a homeless beard. I'm just like I'm just trying to imagine.
How
him
dare
after
you,
No, he
sir.
doesn't. He has a fucking snidely
I'm
whiplash,
trying to
fucking
imagine
awesome,
Blazy not
massive
shaving.
I got
handlebar
almost beard.
I'm
mustache.
trying
Don't
to
bust
imagine
on
Blazy
it.
not
2
shaving
days
for
of
6
growth.
months, and
You know,
Elby's
you
beard
can
is the
fucking
closest
shave
thing.
every once in a
Elby's
while.
Elby's mustache is the greatest thing in
I was gonna
Canada.
say
love
that's a
Elby's
powerful
mustache.
mustache.
No, it's very
I
nice.
can't do that for
It's-
some reason. Mine fucking will not. I try to curl it up like that. It won't fucking
How
do
do you
it.
get the
I don't know,
double
I can't do
curl?
it.
You have like the Monopoly Man
Fucking
double
fantastic.
curl. Like,
We have
Because
to be
he's
careful,
amazing.
friends. If we stop talking
Elby
about
is the
Eve, we have
best.
to
You
go
gotta
to the
like-
after show.
you're like-
Oh,
Do it.
okay, yes. This
Wax
actually,
it.
yes.
Wax that
yeah.
shit.
Elby,
Okay,
you
yeah,
going to
this is
Vegas?
actually now that we're
Or
going
New
into
Orleans?
this kind of shit. This
No,
is actually
I
a good time
have
to
to work.
transition out. Sorry.
All right.
Oh no!
I know it's
Everybody,
well,
thank
well,
you for
fuck it
joining
up.
us for an
No.
actual Open Comms Eve discussion tonight.
All right.
It's all
We
because
did
of
it.
Brisk.
Love you,
Brisk is the
bitch.
On
best.
the
No, but
On the
I
after
mean,
show. Wait. Before we go,
Yeah.
I have a shout out.
Shout
I have a
out,
shout out.
Funny as a shout out.
Shout out to the U.S. time zone dudes. We gonna play this different in 2020. We
Hey, can I
brawl
get a
into
re-
the death.
Can I get a
From
real shout
from
out?
January to
USTZ,
November
baby.
to December 31st, we brawling.
Nice.
Fuck the
Do it.
Euros. Fuck the Aussies.
I'd
back.
like
Hey,
an actual
also-
real shout out.
All right.
I'd like to do a shout out to me playing
Some
Eve
people,
again.
some
Whoa,
people
whoa,
may
Dom-
remember this. Some
We'll
people
Good night,
may not
everybody.
take
remember
turns.
it.
Dom first. Go.
Yeah, real quick shout out. Podside podcast used to be on years ago. People might remember it, might not remember it.
You can.
It is coming back. We're gonna be starting in 2 weeks.
Nice.
So we'll be doing it on Thursday nights. We might not do it live. We're just gonna do it and we'll put it out. So we'll let you know how we're gonna do it. But it's gonna come out in 2 weeks. So
well, let us know too. We'll
I'll
as well.
definitely let you know.
Yeah. We'll.
My
plug it.
shout out. Meta Show, 4:00 Eastern. Tomorrow. Drone Wangs from Ranger
What is
Regiment
that
is our
in, like-
guest.
What is the meta show? I've never heard of this before.
It's trash.
What is that in like?
The Meta
real
Show
numbers?
is only
I-
the most watched Eve podcast.
That I still haven't
Come
been
watch
invited
it.
to.
What is
Who's
that
that?
in like
Hang
real
out.
American
You're hurting
time?
me, Chris.
That Bunny
It's
has
so fucking
not
funny,
been a
he's so
guest
awesome.
on yet.
You're
And
hurting
I'm not
me.
talking about
When is your
Matani,
Super
Brisk,
Boomer Hot Take
You've
political
made
show
Meta
start?
show so much better. I fucking love it.
Oh
I do
yeah.
appreciate what
I'm
you
glad
do.
you guys like. Thank you,
When's
Tom.
the
I'm glad you
Matani
guys
Graf
like.
Dirk political show coming?
Oof.
That is supposedly tomorrow after
tomorrow,
the
right?
Meta Show, as I understand
I
it.
thought
But
it was
I'm not
last
100%
week.
sure.
I thought it was supposed to be last week and they skipped it, so it's tomorrow.
They skipped it because they had to plan more. But I mean, the bottom
They're
line
gonna
is,
play- like,
I
no,
can't
like, they're
wait to
gonna
see.
plan.
I cannot wait to see the Graf Dirk.
So they wanted four.
So,
So
Matani.
You have
it's
two people
Graf
on.
Dirk,
Graf,
Brother
Matani.
Bob political
Neither
show.
one of
Graf
these
Dirk
people have
Matani.
played
Who's
the
the
game.
fourth?
Bobby,
Brother
you do
Bob's
not.
there?
Neither
No,
one
no,
played
no,
the
no,
game.
no.
No.
It's not-
It's Big Bill. It's
Oh,
Big Bill.
boy.
Sorry, I misspoke.
Bill the
It's Big Bill the
Boss?
Boss.
Oh,
Big
okay.
Bill the Boss
Shit.
is the third.
Okay,
is the fourth
okay.
one.
So
Who?
yeah.
And the best
Okay,
the
so
best part
none-
is the
none of
political
three people have
show.
played the game in 2 years.
I'm not on the political show, but Dirk, Grath, and Big Bill the Boss are all former STK, current or former STK members by corporation.
Okay.
That's pretty
And
fucking
it tells
awesome.
me-
Yeah,
Dirk
you
was
need
saying
to
like
do your
Dirk
own
was
show on
trying. He's like, I'm
politics.
trying to
Yeah.
convince them.
STK.
Dirk was saying he's like, I'm trying to convince them to get you on. He was talking to me. I was like, why would you do that on a political show?
I think they need a moderator. They need
I
somebody
wouldn't
to
be a
moderate.
moderator. It's like I don't know.
Jesus.
I was
I
like,
agree
here's
with
the.
you,
I was
Chris.
like, Dirk, you know
Those
how much I
three
know about
people
politics, right?
Need somebody who can
And to push the.
control them.
I
You're right.
can't. I can't do the show because I can't do a politics show because I speak for
I'll
my
push the
group
button.
and it just doesn't work.
I was saying, I was like, if you just need a button
That's not
pusher,
true, Brisk.
I will be
Brisk,
off
you know
cam,
what?
off
Every time
mic.
you talked on, we've done different podcasts with politics.
But
I've
that's the
enjoyed
thing.
listening to you. You do a good
My-
job of
my
being
my
good at
problem
politics.
is the problem is that
Like, I
I
can
have
push
to
buttons.
when I represent my personal views, they are different from my official views. My official views are when I'm officially talking to things. I
So,
can't I
Bert,
can't do it.
Brisk. You
So I-
personally support sucking dick and eating ass, but politically you don't because it's like harem
Well,
or whatever.
look,
That sounds right.
look. Here's
Wait,
the
I
thing.
think
Because
you're
the
correct.
Bible
I am
says-
a
Bible
Republican.
says-
He who sucked the first dick.
I'm personally a Republican, but I work for people that don't always agree with those views, so I have to be careful. That's why I don't.
Yeah.
Whenever I go on TV, it's
I
generally
literally didn't
not
hear what you
as
said.
me talking in my official capacity. Anyway.
All right, Redline, you had a shout out, or was that Mike?
Bye,
I
guys.
do.
Okay,
I have a
Redline.
shout out. I have 2 shout outs. Can I have 2 shoutouts if they're short?
You may shout
Yeah,
me
you
out.
can
That
shout
shout
out.
out lasted like 5 minutes, so go ahead.
All right, no, it's just be quick. The first shout out is to me playing EVE Online again because it doesn't feel like a shit game anymore. And the second shout out is to Trash Talk Tuesday.
Oh
there
yeah.
a
Wait,
Trash
hold
Talk
up, dude.
Tuesday?
Redline,
But
did
you
you
only
just
play
come
the
back
game
to
because
Eve
I'm
too?
on, right? Because I love you so much, right?
Did you say
gotta give me
trash
credit.
talk?
Yeah.
Yes.
Who's Tuesday?
You need to explain what Trash
the
Talk
day of the
Tuesdays
week.
is
It's a day of
because
the week,
literally
Rain. It's a day of
no
the
one
week.
knows what
Is he
you're talking
laughing
about.
so hard he can't talk?
It's
I
a
think
day
so,
of the
yeah.
week. It's Trash Talk
Are you?
Tuesdays.
'Cause I
You
can
just
explain
Trash
it.
Talk
Are you
Tuesdays.
sure
We
this
play
isn't
Trash
an
Talk on
anime
that
called
day.
Carol and Tuesday?
Bunny,
It's
tell
like
us
an
about
explain
Trash
it,
Talk
buddy.
Tuesday.
So Trash Talk Tuesdays is Redline's attempt. It was Redline wants to get a whole bunch of FCs together, and it's basically this kind of format where a whole bunch of us get in a round table and just talk nonsense,
Oh, I like
talk
that,
garbage,
actually.
talk shit.
Except
This thing,
you know
that last
this
part wherever I
show
was
is
running my mouth about
moderated?
the Imperium running from fights or the GEF running from fights, literally
Yeah.
just a show of that.
So it's like
I see.
Cuckoo
That sounds
recording.
fun.
Or
Cuckoo
Reddit.
Live.
The
Cuckoo Live.
Alliance panel at FanFest, but streamed.
It's
Right.
literally
Goddamn, Braden.
instead
100%
of
correct.
instead of a moderated conversation, it's just people talking shit to each other for 2 hours.
I will be on the first one. Anybody who
Correct.
wants to talk shit to me
Redline,
is
how'd that
welcome
work
to
out
come
with the
on.
Imperium?
I will
Didn't you
prove
try
you
the
wrong
same thing?
though.
Oh, Bob
No,
is being
I
so
did not.
harsh right now.
You didn't try it here? So they wouldn't listen to you at all, huh?
What do you mean?
Well, you were kind of a fucking voice in the FC department. Did you not try that?
No, I didn't. I didn't try anything.
That's too bad.
This is just a recent development.
Yes.
Who
But
gets
no,
the
you
next-
were
who gets the
listening
next
to
shout-out?
until you got kicked out.
I didn't get kicked
Then they
out.
all of a sudden they make it sound like Redline's as a nobody, he's never done anything, right? But the truth is, Redline was fucking pretty important FC while he was here, anyway.
I was the only FC running ops in AUTZ. I'm
That's
pretty
right.
sure I won that last war for everybody, you know?
No, they won't give you
Here's
credit
the
for
real
that, though.
question: what happened to Plex Live?
Not that Mike's not doing a good job. I love Mike to death. No, I'll give Redline credit where it's due. He fucking did a great job with us.
Redline is a great FC when he decides to FC.
Yeah, well, I feel like I can get where Redline's coming from for taking a long ass break because I did. I took like a 6-month break from Eve mostly because I actually decided to do something with my life. But like taking a break from Eve and coming back to it definitely gave me a better outlook on the game than like sitting around through half the bullshit of sitting around crabbing
Brewer-
and delve, which I despise.
Brewer words have never been spoken.
See, I don't crab and delve. I just swipe a credit card because fuck it, why not? I'm not
Literally,
That's
crabbing.
why I
yeah.
like
That's
Mike.
what I
So
do.
what you so
it's been
so
like
true words have
since-
never been spoken. Everybody needs to realize that this is a video game. If at some point the video game stops being fun, you need
It's
to
not
take
a
a break.
game; it's his job. At that
It's
point.
not a
100%.
job.
Bunny,
Don't
you are so smart.
don't pay to work.
If
a
the
job.
video game stops being fun, you're stop playing the video game. I
Absolutely.
love this game to death. It's been a part of my life since I've fucking went through puberty, if we're being honest with each other. I will forever maintain, if this game ever stops being fun for you because of what CCP is doing, because what somebody does to you in game, take a break. Take a month, play another game. There's lots of video games out there.
But that's the thing.
Enjoy
you,
another
Farming
community.
Simulator.
you
This
can
is
play
why I
other
like
games
Bug. This is why I like
besides
Bug.
Eve.
He's
It's
100%
not going to
correct.
kill you.
This is a
But
fucking
come
game.
back.
I play
Yeah.
other
You don't
games.
have fun doing it. Why would you fucking do it?
Yeah, stop. This isn't the era of Eve anymore where we play till we burn out. This is the era of Eve where the mechanics let you take a month-long break because there's
And
somebody
nobody's
going
going to notice.
No.
And they're not going to care.
Well, somebody will notice, right? Because I mean, people who like content creators, we can't afford any more content creators burning out, right?
But
So
even if people don't notice, it doesn't
whenever
matter.
whenever
I don't- I
Elo
disagree with you,
posted
buddy.
on
People
on
will step up and become content creators. Mike Flood's a perfect example of that. He
Right.
wasn't a content creator
but
a
Mike
couple years
Flood
ago.
can't learn
but he
everything
is now.
overnight. Is my point.
Right, right, right.
This is also I've also been
Anyway.
FCing for
Oh, okay, I agree, buddy. You're right. Yeah.
The Trash Talk Tuesday will be 0200 Eve,
Oh, yeah, I
US
forgot we
time
were talking
zone.
about this.
What day?
On
What day?
Tuesday.
Oh,
On
oh,
Tuesday.
What?
Literally Tuesday.
So Trash Talk Tuesdays on Tuesday? Fuck me.
So
Wow.
no fleece on
Yes.
Tuesday. So no fleece on
Right
Tuesday.
over my-
We can do whatever
Stop!
we want on
I'm
Tuesday.
not
You got it.
dumb. I'm just.
And I am in both. I am in the INN.
God,
I am in the
imagine
TIS
that.
discords. If you want to be on the show and just talk shit for 2 hours, DM me. We'll get you on. Production
there.
value -10, but we'll have a good time.
Yeah.
I'll be there. If you want to come talk shit to me, you're welcome to, but I'm gonna counter you with facts, so good luck.
Ah.
Like FAX or FACTS?
Both.
Mike Flood is in, by the way.
I'll do whatever Mike Flood tells me to do.
All right,
Yeah,
we
it
got to
just-
transition. Anyone else have shout outs? We got to go over.
Can I say shout out to Drayden because he always runs these things and it's a
Yeah.
lot of pressure and I think he does like a really good job.
Good job,
I just
Drayden.
want to say
I
we
love
appreciate you, Drayden. Like you do great.
He's one of my favorite.
Even though
people
I
on the
give
face
you
of the
shit,
earth.
I love
I
you,
fucking love
Drayden.
him so much.
This community, this community, when it comes to
watched
public
guys.
relation, lives and
I
dies by its
watched him play
content
Kerbals
creators.
because of this
Luckily,
show.
people can't get burnt. Like, luckily, Bjorn
Let's do a shot.
B never
let's do a
got
shot
burned
to
out.
Drayden.
Like,
Shot
like
to Drayden.
all
Shouts to
content creators.
Drayden. Shouts
Thanks to
content
y'all, we're
creators.
still here.
Thanks, guys. I mean,
And you're
I
welcome
it's a
for
hustle
Vegas
before
bombs,
the
by
show,
way.
but once the show starts, it's not a lot of work. So
You're fantastic, Drayden.
Drayden, you're-
Don't fucking knock yourself.
Drayden,
dude. I'm
you're
telling
welcome
you.
for Vegas
I
bombs, by
literally,
the way.
I hate Kerbals. I think it's the stupidest game
oh,
ever.
nice.
I've watched the fucking stream because of you. You're the man.
All right, after show,
High
let's
praise.
talk
Yeah,
politics.
let's-
All right, we're going.
I just,
So-
Let's get some Bloomberg debates going on.
How
I
did
just
the
made-
fucking stream all of a sudden become
All right,
a
so-
I just made
we-
a fucking Discord for Trash Talk Tuesday.
Yeah, so
Thank
so
you,
yours.
we're
I
okay.
vote-
So
I appreciate
announcement.
both of you guys.
Announcement.
I do-
Okay,
I do
everyone,
love
we're
you
going
both.
to after show. I'll post the link in the chat if you guys want to follow us there. It's going to be on a different channel because we
talk weird.
we
we're
might get
weirder
inappropriate.
and
We
talk worse
can't
shit.
we can't have this on INN. We can't get them in trouble for this. So we're going
I'm gonna
to
do major drugs. on the
We're going to
fucking
my
after show.
channel. We honestly need to make an open comms channel. I just should
We
just
do.
change the name instead of it just being my
Major
channel.
Oh,
It should be
Major
the open
oh,
comms
Twitch.
channel.
On
No,
the
you're
after
right.
show.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking about
I mean,
Discord.
I
I'm
could
like, that's
change.
a
I
thing.
could just.
Pretty
I'll
sure.
do that. Maybe I'll do this this coming up week, because
Lots
it's
of
it like
fucking
we pretty
touching
much
and
just
shit
use
like
the channel
that
for
on the
open
after show.
open comms. But anyway, so we're going there. I'll put the link in chat, and we're out. Later,
Brisket
bitches. We'll
Good
catch
night,
you-
everybody.
Later, bitches.
Yeah, this is like my second year FCing, so yeah.
Mike, you're a good lad. I see you all
Dude,
the
isn't
time
that
in chat.
insane?
Yeah,
I love my
I've been-
float.
Or wait, do you trash talk